keeping that in, EliteAri. I just did a whole bit. You better cut the first part out where I said I was going to do it like this. Okay. Welcome, everybody, to Roberta's Blood Trail OVAs, episodes 1 through 5, or Black Lagoon episodes 25 till 29, I believe. Oh my god, nearly 30 episodes, EliteAri. This is a big deal, a big anime, and we're back after about 3 weeks since the last one to talk about this one. Oh my god, we're in record time. What other introductory facts? Oh yeah, EliteAri is here.
Yep, I'm here. Just like last time.
Now, EliteAri records these things for a little behind-the-scenes peek behind the curtain, you know, as they say. And he hasn't told me what the image you're seeing on screen is, and he's alluded to the fact that he's making fun of Black Lagoon in it, so we'll get him for that later, chat. When we find out all the mean things he's going to say, because that's all he does, chat. He just tries to bring us down, but we got to stand firm. You know, I was hoping EliteAri would get some hate comments in this series, but so far, you've all failed me. So you can get the licks in now, because this is the last one, EliteAri. You don't want to read the manga. I will be reading the manga immediately. After we click stop recording, EliteAri, I'll open up chapter 1 and probably get bored and do something else.
Excellent.
But I'll that's not what's going to happen. EliteAri doesn't want to do that, chat, so I'm sure I'll make some other secondary ENT content about it. I'm sure I'll be flooded with ideas for a million main channel videos. Probably not. And we're doing Madoka Magica next, and that's going to be on EliteAri's second channel. It's called OrdinaryAri. Why am I doing all this at the beginning, EliteAri? What was I saying this for?
I don't know. You're doing the intro.
Yeah, it's an intro right there. Shilling at the beginning. Everybody subscribe, you know. I got to catch up to EliteAri in subscriptions. He's an idiot and a pussy. Now, you've heard his takes about Black Lagoon. So EliteAri, at the end of our first discussion, you said Black Lagoon sucks. I give it a 5. And then
Did I?
At the end of the...
Did I say it was a
like
5? I don't know if I've ever gone below a 6. Maybe it was like, I'd be like teetering between a 5 and a 6, I guess. Sure. Okay.
So you just tried to correct me and then agreed with me. Embarrassed.
All right. Yeah, fair.
Now, and then we watched the great second season, another 10 out of 10 season. He said, you know, it's basically the same, you know, whatever. And then, you know, every time we start talking, you know, I just destroy him with facts and logic, and he starts to change his mind a little bit, but then he forgets. And now he's back at a 5. So, I guess we ask EliteAri what his overall thoughts were.
Okay, well, I do have a whole section on this.
More than the other ones, he's gonna be a pussy. You know?
I do have a whole section of my overall thoughts, but if I have to give it a
do you
number,
have something you want to say first?
Wait, what do you mean? The background image? I don't even know what you're saying.
Oh no, you were building it up like, oh, we'll get to it. But okay, if you want to get to it now.
No, just say if I was to rate this out of 10.
Oh my god, here we go, dramatic. Oh my god, keep talking.
This would definitely be like a 9 out of 10. I really, really like this. This is so much better than anything else in this show. I completely understand why people like Black Lagoon now. I can't believe it. A massive step up in every regard,
hold on. First of all, I saw this coming because first of all, he had mentioned to me that he'd watched it or something, and then I forgot. And then last night he's like, "Yeah, idiot, I finished it like 2 days ago," and I was like, "Oh." Because he loves it so much. Now, I was half joking because, you know, I'm trying to prod EliteAri for information. He's very tight-lipped before we record these things. You know, he's a little bitch.
Of course.
Doesn't let me in on anything, you know, kayfabe in it. Now, and I saw it coming, you know. I guess we'll talk about the reasons why in a second. We'll see if the reasons he's going to say is the reason why. EliteAri's favorite character in this silly series so far has been Roberta, and obviously this is all about Roberta. Though we speculated at the end of last time whether or not, he would like it because I hinted at a possible costume change. I completely forgot that in the final fight, she changed back into the normal costume. I was like, oh my god, this is saved. EliteAri's going to like this. But I did start to realize that he was going to like this one more. But EliteAri, the most exciting thing about what you said is that you said you understand why people like Black Lagoon now. So has this retroactively made everything else better? Is that what you're saying? Or you just like this one?
Maybe. I don't know. Because I feel like when I say I think I understand why people like Black Lagoon, there's like 3 elements to it, maybe 2 elements. I don't know. Like the first
freaking action.
Yeah, one is the action, and I do have to say, this season's action is so far and above everything else in the previous ones.
You're gonna steal all my shitty talking points. I wrote a whole joke about how you were gonna say this in my notes, but it's in like the 3rd episode. So.
I'm saying it because it's true, of course.
You're preempting me.
What else? There's
let's talk about action. Let's talk about action because
sure.
I have a whole dot point about it. No, it's just a short point. There really is like no action in the first 2 like seasons, right?
Well, there's action. It's just bad. They're just shooting guns at each other.
It's just like shooting. Yeah, like there's no like action set pieces like like in this, like they're on the roof and Roberta's shooting at them with a sniper, and they've got to like put the smoke out so they can run across to the other building, and the other people got to cover fire for them, and then they got to run around, and then the Colombians are coming up, so it's like, and then there's like also a bunch of goons that are just gonna get shot, and then Chinglish and the gang are also over here, and it's like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm pretty engaged in this.
Yep.
It's like an action thing, and that's where I thought, like, what did the vampire twins do? They shot at some people.
Yep, exactly.
Like, there was no, like, they dodged. Like, they had a cool little thing with Chang, where, like, Chang's dudes got shot up, but he didn't, because he's super cool and stuff. Like, can we think of another... Well, Revi fought the samurai dude. That was pretty cool. I guess Revi and the samurai dude busted into the thing, but again, that was just kind of a shooting gallery, and then he cut a bullet, so that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool. Basically, everything that isn't just guns on guns is, like, the best part of the show in terms of fighting.
Yeah, he was swinging about the stupid swords last time.
Yep.
There was that cool scene, remember when in the end of Season 1 EliteAri, Chinglish and Revi are in the back of the big car, and there's, like, a thing in the roof so you can get onto the roof of the car, and Chinglish is swinging around her swords and stuff, cutting people up. That was pretty cool. And when Etta shoots Chinglish off the window.
No, it's not like the action's not cool about that, but like the scene was cool. Yeah.
But like she was on the outside, so she had to run, but Revi had to shoot her to make her run. So that was pretty cool.
There's some good stuff, okay. It's not all terrible, I guess.
But that's just my action point, I think. I think that's all I had to say about it. So I'm glad we talked about that. But you had 3 reasons, EliteAri?
That's the first thing. I can understand people seeing this type of action and just kind of implying that the whole show is like that, which is fair enough. I can kind of imagine someone seeing that. The other thing would be that I think this season, potentially, I have the best understanding of what's going on, but I might be wrong, which is something I wanted to clarify with you about like what's exactly happening, the overarching storylines. But now that I think I have a decent understanding, I think it makes a lot of the subtleties in the show much more interesting, because I'm like, I feel like I kind of understand what each character's motivations are a lot better. Whereas in the previous seasons, it felt like in the first season, I felt like I had no idea. Like I didn't even know Rowanapa was like a single location. In the second season, there was so many different, especially that final arc. There was so many different like forces in action at that point, and I had no idea what this Yakuza is and why Balalaika is attacking this thing and what Rock is doing, and I just had no idea. So I think it was a bit confusing there. But now that I feel like I have a decent understanding of this season, it feels like there's a lot of like interesting stuff going on, and it feels like maybe in the previous seasons there also was, and I might have just missed it because I wasn't getting all the details.
I will tell you, I did have a moment of reflection because I watched the last 2 episodes. Well, I just watched a football game, EliteAri, so 2 hours before that, and then like right before that is when I watched the last 2 episodes. And I will goddamn tell you that some of these, and I noticed this retroactively for all the Black Lagoon things, all the Black Lagoon plots are retardedly complicated. Like even like the one with the Hezbollah guys, where it's like Chang has a password, but Revi pretended to forget the password, and then she pretended she didn't have the documents, and then that's why Chinglish. It's like a thing where the motivations seemingly have been thought out a lot, but to the point where even at the end of this, when Rock's like revealing things like, oh, and Chang knew this would happen, and he could manipulate Balalaika into doing this, I'm like, everybody hold on for a fucking second. Let me try and figure this stupid goddamn shit out. And I've seen this show like 4 or 5 times. But I think it might be a benefit. But it is kind of funny, especially when the show is like, again, the reputation of the show is like, oh, action, brother. And then there's these hot girls and they kill people and they swear a lot. That's really all anybody says about Black Lagoon, except for, the greatest YouTuber of all time just sitting over here, came up on the scene, a young buck in 2019, so late 2018, telling you actually Black Lagoon is super deep and stuff. But that was probably cringe too. I had a joke at some point, EliteAri. Hold on, let me get a joke, EliteAri. Where at some point I was going to interrupt you, but you kept going, and I was going to say you won't truly understand until you watch the great videos, EliteAri. But anyway, you got past that, and you stopped saying understanding in your sentences, and you moved on and ruined my joke. Next time I will just,
Kyle, I'm just here. I wanted to say I actually have this written in my overall thoughts and my many.
If you say you've already watched the fucking video,
no, I haven't. I haven't. Don't worry. I was gonna say I can completely understand why your videos could be very successful when it comes to Black Lagoon. If you do if it is in line with all your other videos and you have interesting analysis, blah blah blah. Because I think it does feel like, I guess my final kind of reason I think I understand the show or the appeal of it now is that it feels like this is an incredibly, there's so much to piece together here. It feels like if you can come up with like a nice thesis that cohesively like analyzes a particular character, for instance, I think you have a great advantage in terms of like, everyone's going to be like, whoa, look at this person, like piece together all the analysis and it all makes sense. And so on and so forth. You know, so I think I can
Yes.
understand why the show, you know, is so interesting.
Now I was reflecting on my videos and what I remember about them. Now, EliteAri, let's break down the video. So initially, the EliteAri, there's Rock and Revy, the driving force behind Black Lagoon or something. Parts 1 through 4. This is about 3 hours and a half in total. And the first part is an overall thingy, and I called it just an introduction. Now, in this video, I do a Best Guy Ever parody, but I'm not very funny because this is like January of 2019. And then what the fuck else do I talk about? I think I just saying, Black Lagoon's actually super deep, and it's not just action, and you're a motherfucker. I'm swearing. Or something. And then the next 3 parts are just recaps, point by point, like, and then Balalaika said to this guy, fuck your mother, and that was a really sick line. And it's that sort of recap type analysis. And then I make the great video, EliteAri, 400,000 views. Probably terrible. Whenever I say any of these videos are great, I'm lying.
Yep.
It's the Rock and Revy best anime relationship one, obviously breaking down... I think my original idea in bringing this up was to have you guess what they were about. But the only funny one to... Well, go ahead, EliteAri. What is the Rock and Revy one about? I think
we talked about this. I vaguely remember in our first discussion. No, I was thinking about just the premise of like badass women. Wait a minute.
Yeah, that's the next one, EliteAri. We're not up to that one yet. That's the actual fun one for you to speculate about.
Maybe we did talk about it. Was it about the subtle relationship where it's like the cigarette kiss or whatever, and how I don't actually I don't even know. You could go in a million directions.
Now, this is all from recollection, because I haven't watched any of these videos in ages. The most recent one I would have watched would have been this Rock and Revy one, because I remember it actually just came up because I just had the second channel up. There was a video where I rewatched my 3 most popular videos before I think they were both, because the Rock and Revy one and the Griffith video were neck and neck, EliteAri. Head and head? What's that? We're neck and neck as they approached the 200,000 views mark. And it looked like Griffith was going to overtake it, and I was sad about that, because obviously the Rock and Revy video was better, but I'm pretty sure the Griffith video was almost certainly better. Anyway, they both suck. But I rewatched them, and that's probably the last time I rewatched this video. So I think that video is mostly me restating, like, the thoughts that are, like, the general points that were, like, lost in the recap of that first video series. And it's mostly about analyzing like, every arc has, like, a fucking Rock parallel and a Revy parallel. Or maybe, like, a few arcs only have Rock ones or whatever. And it's basically going through all of those, like, Kageyama, EliteAri, of course, you remember Kageyama from the first 2 episodes, the suit that Rock worked for. Oh my god, this is Rock if he stayed back in reality. He would be a depressed businessman, but he would be successful because he's got a noggin on him, this Rock. And then, like, the terrorist dude from the Hezbollah one was like, oh, this is Rock if he dedicated himself to, like, an evil cause or something. And then whatever, fucking Yukio is him if he loses his thing, and Genji is Revy, and the fucking, and this one obviously Garcia is supposed to be Rock, and Fabiola, who's the leader, you haven't talked about her yet, is Revy, and obviously we're juxtaposing. I do have a section in my notes
for the parallels.
Oh my god, EliteAri.
I guess my one overall parallel thought is that there's a lot of parallels, and I've listed a bunch. So you want to confirm what you think about these? I guess
some of them very obvious, but yeah.
Yeah. So we have perhaps the most obvious. We have Roberta and Revy. Okay. We got we got showers, we got sinister smiles, we got their hairstyles, and obviously the most important parallel, which is the thematic parallel about not seeing the true Garcia or Rock. We love that. Then we have the Rock, which is especially in the ending, which we haven't talked about yet, but Balalaika and Chang, he's being paralleled with them, of course, because they're like higher ups or whatever. We have Rock and Garcia, of course, and we have Revy and Fabiola, of course, and we have Balalaika and Caxton or Shane or whatever his name is. Those 2. There's a lot, and probably Shane. More.
I think Caxton is like his fake name that he uses one time, EliteAri. So
actually, it's the one thing I have at the beginning of the show where you see his name tag, and I was like, "Is this the same guy?" And I saw that his name was like
maybe his name is Shane Caxton.
It has to be because it was on his name tag, but he could also probably just be a fake name. But that's how I pieced together the same person, and the first scene in this entire OVA series is actually related to the ending, and it's like, oh my god, it's so great. I love it. Anyway.
Bravo. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, Chad, you sing such nice things. Oh. I did the uwu thumb point then, EliteAri. You know how you put your fingers together like that?
All right.
Anyway. You can see it. Anyway, EliteAri, this video is not just about parallels. It's also about how Revy is totally in love with Rock, and she's just like me for real. She just can't admit it, and she's mean to him even though she really likes him, and she doesn't even actually see him because she's like overlooking it. And isn't that what we do in love, EliteAri? We'll talk about all that in much more depth later. But I think the bulk of it is that part more so than the parallels part. There's obviously the anecdote about Black Lagoon Girl in the middle of that video. Hilarious, EliteAri. You can't wait till you get to that one. Soy. I think that's what that video was about. Also, the first 5 minutes of that video is about how anime dialogue is bad except for Black Lagoon, and I think I specifically shit on Naruto because this is before I thought Naruto was good. I was still on that Naruto hater bandwagon, and yeah, I think the first 5 minutes of that is about how Black Lagoon isn't like other girls, and it's really bad. Wow. But anyway, then EliteAri, this was all pointless and boring bullshit. Now we get to, I think the only other videos that I fucking make is that there are no badass women in Black Lagoon, EliteAri. What do you think I'm saying in those ones?
Now, this one we definitely talked about, because initially I remember I was like, oh, it must be about how they're actually not badass because they're portrayed through a male lens or something, and that doesn't make them badass. And you're like, no, that's not it.
That's not it at all. That would be smart.
I think you said it was, if I'm vaguely remembering from like 5 months ago, you said it was about how they're actually, no, I don't even remember. I thought I had it. Was it about how they're not actually badass because, oh no, I don't remember. Is it about how,
it's basically just they're not actually badass. They're actually all just like broken people, bro.
Okay, no, I wasn't gonna guess that. I thought it's because like guns don't make you badass or something. that's what my guess was gonna be. We definitely talked about this.
For that video is like, I hate the term badass. I think it sounds corny and cringe. Always have, and plus that's the thing people would always say about the show. So it was like, man, I've already started. I'm on my high horse. I've defeated all the people that say that Black Lagoon isn't deep. Everybody loves all my videos. They all agree with me. Let's go for the hyperbolic throat here, EliteAri, and say that they're not badass. And it had a mixed response. They've all got more likes than dislikes, but every single comment is about, you can be broken and be badass, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Obviously, all three of these women are sick. And stuff like that. And then EliteAri made another video called To Reiterate, There Are No Badass Women in Black Lagoon, which was like a grumpy, like, these fucking comments are really stupid. And here's what I actually meant. Restate it again. And see, all of the Black Lagoon videos got lots of views. That To Reiterate one has like 1.6k views or something. It's got nothing.
Shame.
It's kind of funny. But yeah, that's the silly thing. Now, I will say, EliteAri, that rewatching especially the end of this, I feel like a lot of stuff just went completely over my head that's completely obvious that I never bring up in any of those videos that possibly contradicts certain parts and certain interpretations. Now, I was a bit deluded in all of my thinking about Black Lagoon back then. I was onto something. Like, I'm pretty sure there is some good stuff in those videos. It's all presented terribly. But I think it's also missing a lot now that I've watched it again. Like, it was not until today, this day, that I realized that, like, the actual point is that everybody in Roanopa, like, used to be a good guy and they just failed. And that's, like, everybody in the series, except for, like, the Nazis. Like, the terrorist dude was trying to revolutionize Japan, and he was, like, but then he fell off, and now he just does, like, shitty jobs and became corrupt. Also, the other exception is Revy, which is really interesting, where she seems to have never really been a good person. But like Balalaika got kicked out for saving a kid. Yeah, and Etta. Well, it's like kind of up in the air how bad of a person Etta is. But like Balalaika got kicked out for saving a kid, as it's revealed, which I kind of forgot about, even though I remembered the shot of her like holding the kid's hand because that's in all those videos a million times. Chang used to like he's like, oh yeah, he used to be a cop, bro, and then he's fallen off somehow. But then there's also mentioned that he killed his partners. Yeah. But I'm probably guessing that his partners were probably like corrupt and he got in trouble for killing them, and that's why he spiraled or something. Is probably my assumption. There's other ones like Shane is like the first scene is him saving like a kid from getting raped by all the other American soldiers in the Vietnam War. There's a bunch of other ones, and I just went through them and I'm like, oh, Yukio had good intentions, and they sort of just spiral and stuff. And here we have Rock, who tries to have good intentions, but he hasn't completely fallen yet, and he's being a little judgy about everybody else. That's just something I don't bring up, and that's kind of seemingly the point of this, especially this part of the story. which is effectively the end, and I've definitely considered the end in those videos.
Mm.
Like again, you know how you were always like Roberta's blood show is like a flashback, bro.
It had
And
to be, yeah.
like Rock and shit aren't even in it because Black Lagoon's finished.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of how I viewed the rest of the manga. I thought there was like one more arc, and it was probably just them doing a weird odd job or something. But it's clear, like the next arc is like 30 chapters long or something, and probably has a lot of shit in it. And then there's a whole nother completed arc that's like 30 chapters. So I'm assuming this like continues on, and I'm excited now to go back to that.
It is a very
But
strange thing to have this continue.
Yeah, it's like not an ending really.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes sense towards the end. But treating it as like an ending and sort of missing that part is funny. There was another big thing I miss. I think I finally understand Roanapa as a concept where it's supposed to be like, because they say the Walking Dead thing a lot, and I've always thought it was kind of corny. And it was just like, oh yeah, like the bad people who aren't in the twilight but in the darkness, bro. We say darkness in the Japan arc a bunch. But I think obviously it's just like, oh, it's like the final stop. It's like everybody that's failed is here, and they're just waiting to die type thing. And they like refer to it as hell a lot, and it's like, oh, it is kind of like hell, Lamau. And like, and because Rock has a line at the end about like, oh, I'm gonna save a soul or something. And I'm like, oh, it's a fucking hell thing, EliteAri. Duh. But that's another. There was one other thing where I was like, well, it was a character related thing where I was like, well, I didn't put those in those videos, and this is like, how did nobody call me out in the comments for being a retard for not bringing this up? But
yeah.
Oh, I think it's the whole like Garcia stuff towards the end that I've never really understood, and I guess I kind of understand it now. I think I also read into like there was clearly like things I wanted Black Lagoon to be about that I was trying to like shoehorn in there. Like in all of these videos, especially towards the end, I'm not like anti-Rock, but I'm sort of like playing into the Rock is such a fucking hypocrite, bro. And like I'm trying to be like, oh, that's what kind of makes him interesting. But I'm like, you piece of shit, Rock, what he did to Yukio. That's a big part of all of those videos. Whereas I feel like Rock is definitely supposed to be portrayed as like the good guy, even still.
No, I don't think so. Not in this arc. He's portrayed as like very manipulative and not caring about the lives of the people he's saving, right?
I don't think so. I think the ending kind of undermines that whole.
What ending?
Situation.
The ending
like,
that
he.
Go ahead.
No, the very last thing I've seen. I think they're like, oh look, he nearly went bad, teehee, but he actually was a good guy all along, which is kind of at the end. But we'll talk about that, I'm sure. I mean, what was I saying? I was getting you to guess videos, and then I was bringing up the fucking. The silly things that should have been in those videos that weren't, Lamau. So I think there's some good in those videos, EliteAri, but you'll watch them and you'll tell me, okay?
Yep.
All right, hold on. Let me go through the notes I was making as we were speaking now. You won't truly understand until is me going to bring up my funny videos. I think there is good in those videos, true. EliteAri, there were just things that I spoiled to you because I was mixing things up, Lamau. Do you remember the two things I spoiled you on that you definitely shouldn't have known?
Well, there was a few times where I'm like, oh, this is where Kyle got that from, but I don't know if it was spoilers. I think one of them was something about Chang. You said something about Chang, and I was like, oh,
the
this
Chang and
sounds very
Balalaika shooting each other. It wasn't brought up until like episode 4 of this fucking season.
Yeah,
where you actually see them and Balalaika fall off the thing. I swore that was like season 1.
It was so cool.
Yeah, it's the sickest thing ever.
Yeah.
That's why I couldn't resist EliteAri, and I had to bring it up.
And what was the other thing?
I bet in the manga, EliteAri, there's like a whole like chapter that's about the war right before then, but we're like running out of time in this anime, so we just got to show it briefly.
Yeah, maybe.
That's what I'm hoping for, at least.
Yep.
But that was one of the things. The other thing was just like pointing out how I basically told you Eda was in charge, and I realized
that's right.
Really shouldn't have known that until she starts being in charge here, and it probably would have been a cooler reveal when she calls Chang and is like, "Fuck you, brother. You do what I want."
Yep. I was still doubting it. I was like, oh, is she actually still in the CIA? Is she like playing a bit or something? But no, she was definitely in the CIA.
Kyle Entertainment was just bonering it up over here and lying about things.
Yeah, you also told me that Chinglish survived, but I was still shocked when I saw her. I was like, I can't believe she's here.
With her family, EliteAri. I did spoil that too.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was like, yeah, the next time we see him, they're going to be a family, EliteAri, you fucking idiot.
Yep.
But yeah, that was great.
Nothing major though. Nothing that took me out of it. I'm like, oh god, I wish I didn't know this.
What are you gonna spoil? I guess you could say Roberta's gonna survive. That would be a pretty big spoiler.
Yeah.
But,
or even just giving the general premise of like what's happening. That would have been a spoiler. I'm glad.
I kind of did that too. I was like, I'm pretty sure I said Garcia was gonna be in these episodes.
Well, I mean that you can kind of assume that, I guess.
Not if it's a flashback to Roberta.
Well, yeah. I guess I still really was convinced it was gonna be like the significant portion of this would have been a flashback, but nope, we only got like 2 flashbacks. So yeah.
There are a few flashbacks, but they were all like 30 seconds long. So
Mhm.
which is how Black Lagoon does most of its flashbacks, or probably all of them, brother. Were you going through a list of 3 things, or did you get them all out? Or
Well, I have a bunch of overall thoughts.
well,
Well, only 3. I think we've gone over some of them already.
I had a great joke here where I was saying, "So EliteAri pussy, are you ready to admit that Black Lagoon is actually the greatest?" Oh my god, he did that.
Mhm.
And then I have the action stuff, and then I have and then I just have you funnily. Well, no, I have 2. I have 1 joke and 1 actual point. The joke is you just saying, obviously, Balalaika is going to be the final boss of the series.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? The manga's not over yet, so I guess we'll see.
If true, I actually did think about that when I was mocking you in this note, and I was like, she kind of still could be, but we'll see. And also, she was very mean in this one.
Well, she's portrayed in a very different
much.
light, I think. She wasn't in a very controlling position here.
No.
And she also, I have a note later on
history
about
fit
how she is kind of portrayed. I don't know if it might just be a general thing over these 3 seasons now that I've known her quite well. She is portrayed a little bit as being pathetic, where she's clinging on to like her old.
That's my word.
She's clinging on to her old glory days of where she had a purpose, and she's like wearing these outfits and stuff, and it's kind of like, okay, you got to move on. You know,
they're all in their old outfits, like they're gonna go to war with America. You idiots! No, you're not. And then that scene is basically the inciting incident for me making any of those there are note about us women in Black Lagoon things because of how pathetic it was, EliteAri. But it's also cool, and oh my god, she's just a little girl. She just wants to be a good girl.
True, the Olympics.
But she's not allowed to be in. Oh my god, the Olympics, EliteAri. True. But yeah, I think that's probably why that Balalaika one has the most views out of any of those, because it's like nobody's ever talked about Balalaika in a video essay before, brother. But here we are. Besides, oh my gosh, she's so hot. Step on me, mommy. She's so cool. She's gonna kill you.
Yep.
She's Russian. Russian to save you, EliteAri, if you're a little kid in Afghanistan.
Yep, very funny.
That was a pretty good joke.
Yep.
And then my last point is about how the art style is like pretty different, and it's not that different, but it's like thinner and it's sleeker and it just looks better in probably every regard.
Yeah.
And I had never I guess I kind of knew that, but then I even think about like all the cool like clips I have in my various videos, and I'm like, oh, all of them are from Roberta's Blood Trail. So yeah, I was gonna see if that was gonna. When you're hedging your bets, EliteAri, you have it on the one end. EliteAri's of it. Oh, this is gonna be real. I know my other end was you were gonna say, oh yeah, another 5 out of 10, but it looked way better. So if you're not even saying that, EliteAri,
I don't think that
was all my expectations.
I think it looks good. I think it probably looks the best of all of them. I don't think there's that big of a gap between this and like the Japan arc. I don't think. I think they both look pretty good. This probably had more like animation.
I was prepared to throw that back at you when you made my position. So, but now I think no, EliteAri, it's obviously way better. So,
all right.
Who knows what's going on?
Well, one thing we did, I don't know if this was in the discussion or before we started recording, but you mentioned that there's like voice actors and they're like, I think you said it was mostly the same, very consistent. And you felt like despite the big gap,
it wasn't.
I would say
there's 7 years for the audience. There was 7 years between the original series, like the original 2 seasons being dubbed and this being dubbed.
Well, my take on this, there's 2 points here. One is that firstly, there was nothing in the previous seasons. There has been some certain line deliveries that took me out of it, and I was like, oh, okay, I guess they're not like really good. Particularly Balalaika, I had examples, a few Revy things in the first season. This season, nothing took me out of it. There was no line where I'm like, oh, that was a bit awkward or anything. It all was really good. But I think 2 things. Firstly, I really like certain parts of Roberta's portrayal. I think that was really good. And also, particularly, Rock feels like I thought he was recast or something initially because he's so depressed and talking way differently. And he is, I think, a much better voice actor at this point, I would have to assume. That's what I would say.
He's only if it's intentionally like, it's kind of, I don't want to say annoying and I don't want to say corny, but it's somewhere in between. There's a word where you combine those 2 concepts, and that's the word. He's always like, this is all.
Was depressed. Oh, you mean like during the plan? Okay, I was saying like early on in the first 2 episodes.
Stuff like that's the demeanor that it's represented with. But I don't know. I've never really liked the light voice acting. Oh my god, Freudian, because it's the light voice actor, EliteAri. I've never liked Rock's voice acting as much as most other people, so I guess not too big of a deal. I will say that a lot of the portrayals are a lot less bombastic in the voice acting, I would say. I don't think there's anything as good as like the balalaika stuff in Japan, especially like the casting.
I mean, yeah, I would not agree, but yeah.
You're a pussy.
The Roberta thing in this is like way better than anything in Black Lagoon. We'll get to it. The one scene where she's like doing the really cool voice stuff.
Well, I'm curious because no Berserk, no, fuck me. No Roberta stuff stands out to me as being especially good. So we'll see, Leah. You know,
all right.
You don't have a good track record with this. But generally, like, obviously, because the episodes are really long, a lot of stuff is allowed to be really, like, sort of slow and methodical, which I think is really good. Like, the first 2 episodes entirely are, like, set up, so there's so much, like, establishing, like, atmosphere stuff. Oh, and even with the, like, the Americans and them sort of, like, slowly moving out of their apartment, I think that's actually the beginning of episode 3, but all that stuff is done, like, so well. I don't know, the directing is really nice, and like the beginning, like Rock sees them playing like Russian roulette in this one thing, and then he's walking outside and he gets robbed, and it's like a 5-minute sequence of Rock just doing collections and Revy having to stick up for him and everything, and he's looking at his little Yukio card thing. Yukio card, you know what that sounds like, EliteAri.
Yeah, it's very funny.
But anyway, there's atmosphere and build up and stuff, and it's probably the best.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, well, I guess I'll say my
overall thoughts. On to yours.
Okay, I have a few things, not too many. Firstly, we didn't mention it at all somehow, but there's a new opening, which is like way better. It is so much cooler. I got so excited every time it came on. I watched the whole thing every single time. It's so good.
It is more dramatic, and at some point it sort of turns into like a dance beat in the middle, which is funny.
Yep.
I feel like
it's like the same song but remixed, and it also has like the visuals, which are so much cooler. Where like they freeze on a frame and put it at the top or something, and like all this text is in different colors and locations.
I thought you were gonna shit on the visuals of this opening hard.
No,
so that's funny.
It's so sick.
Like it's dramatic, and it's just like a slow shot of Revy like doing like this mechanical walk. It's kind of weird.
I love it,
but EliteAri loves it apparently. I feel like I don't know. I go back and forth about which one I like more. It definitely does feel like, oh, it's Roberta's Blood Show, bro. It's a little bit different, but it's a little bit the same. It's fucking sick, bro.
It kind of...
Then sometimes you just like the classics, EliteAri.
I think it also kind of gets the feeling of it's been a long time since Black Lagoon has been here, and now you're watching it again. Because it's like we're freezing frames on each character, and it's like we're giving them a big like moment or whatever. And also like when you have the shot of them all facing away, like the Black Lagoon company, and it's like the blue images or what, or the blue just like background, and it's like, oh, these characters are back after a long time. It kind of feels big.
And they're posing because they're part of a team and stuff. Crazy.
Yeah.
And EliteAri, you acted like we weren't going to bring this up, and obviously it's the first note of my first episode thingy here, you idiot. I just said remixed intro is pretty freaking metal, brother. Visuals are probably worse, though, ...
No, absolutely not. So, but then again, I always hated the visuals where the random, colorful, weird text is showing up occasionally in the first opening. I never understood it. To this day, it still looks like a visual mistake in the way they edited it. So I don't know, I never liked it. And this one's sick.
Brother,
and also just the fact that like there's this one bit in the opening where I think it's the first time you flash to seeing, I think it's Revy at the top in like a grayscale box, and you have the text that pops up. I like how the lyrics kind of stop in that moment of the song, and it's like freezing on that and showing the visual. It's so cool. Oh my god.
Get down, and then it cuts out.
Yeah,
and then Roberta's at the very beginning, bro, and she's freaking out, like the screen is shaking and stuff. It's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Anyway.
All right. Well, next up is
EliteAri. If we're gonna bring up both of them, I guess we should bring up the ED.
Oh, yes. Yep.
You're supposed to join in. It's like an American marching song because the Americans are here, EliteAri, and they're marching.
Military kind of.
Yes. And the visuals are funny because it's like Balalaika and Rock and Chen and Shane maybe as kids. Some of them are a little ambiguous. It looks like some white boys getting bullied. And it's like, oh, I guess maybe this is elaborated on in the manga. It's kind of cool. But then the final shots of them, like,
they're all parallel.
They're, like looking up. Yeah, it's pretty cool, bro. It's pretty cool.
Yep. I do, you know what? I really do like the first one. It is slow and cool, and I like when the music shows up. I also like this one as well. Like when the music starts playing toward the end of the episode and you're transitioning to these.
Oh my god!
I do like
I don't know if it's the end of episode 1 or it's the end of episode 2, but like they play the old outro theme right before it,
Yes,
and then it
they
gets
do.
interrupted by the American
Yeah.
marching band, and I'm like, oh my god, I just came.
Yeah, that was pretty
Anyway,
cool. Yeah.
but yeah. I will say this actually brings up another overall point, Leary. Don't make sure we're still in that section of the timestamps right now.
Mm.
There are I don't know if you caught on to any of this, and I had never before, but there's like a lot of like visual references to past things in Black Lagoon, like over and over again, where it's clearly like it's like fan service almost.
I'm not
Some
sure.
of them, like I wrote them down. They're like in the opening scene, which is Shane's flashback. I'm almost certain.
Yep.
There's feathers like drop down. You remember the feathers I'm always bringing
the
up?
feathers.
Did you notice the feathers this time? Or
There
not?
was a whole scene on it. Yeah, I did notice the scene. I didn't notice it in the first scene at the beginning, but obviously we got Revy's backstory here.
Yes, the feathers were her shooting her dad, bro. It's fucking sick.
Through a pillar. Oh my god.
Yes, and that's where the feathers come from, obviously. But it's obviously like a flashback thing. Like it happens a few times in the original series for different characters, and then it was happening at the beginning with Shane. A big one that's kind of a funny thematic parallel that I've never pointed out is Rock does. You remember the thing where Balalaika and Chaco? Remember Chaco O'Leary? His hands got chopped off. Remember when
wait,
they?
Who's Chaco? Wait.
His hands got chopped off. He died in a pool when Samurai Dude chopped him off. He wanted to fuck.
Oh
Revy.
yes. Yep.
Chaco, our boy. He's not my boy. He said the F slur. That was
crazy.
Crazy, brother. No F slurs. I don't think any even retards in this one, O'Leary. It's 2013. We can't be doing that shit. Now, they both did the thing where to Revy, when Chaco was flirting with her, puts the hands up. To Fabiola, Rock did it in this, and I'd never noticed that before, and I was freaking the fuck out. It's in a note somewhere, and I probably put in caps lock. He did the thing, EliteAri.
Yep.
But there's like 3 or 4 things. Oh, there's a shot of Roberta on the beach from the original ED at some point.
Yes,
where they
there was. Yep.
Yeah.
I saw
so
that.
That was like, there's so many like fan service Black Lagoon like little thingies that I had never noticed until this watch through.
Yep.
There was another one. I feel like there's at least one more.
There was it's not really it's very obvious, but it's when Chang is like putting Rock on the car because Rock sees it that way from the Balalaika thing from last season.
that kind of qualifies as this, but I think there was another one that was like bigger.
Not sure.
But yeah, it's like a reference. It's like just a reference-a-thon. It's like, oh my god, we're like celebrating Black Lagoon in this last hurrah we're doing like 4 years later, this OVA series. It's kind of cool. I think in my head it had always just been like 3 series and they'd came out like I guess I always assumed there was like a 2-year gap between each season, whatever they're called, rather than the first 2 coming out right after each other and then this one a little bit later. So I never even thought about it like that. So
yep.
But anyway, that's an overall point. Do you got any more, EliteAri?
I got 2 more. Well, one's a very small one, which is that I was surprised by how little Revy there was this season.
Did
you also agree with that?
Yeah, they back end it with a lot of Revy stuff that's kind of like the most important Revy stuff in the whole show.
Yeah, sure.
So it's kind of funny, but yeah, her like it does kind of seem like her and Chinglish and the gang are kind of tacked on, and they're like they're there, they don't really do anything, then they get shot, and it kind of services Fabiola as a character a little bit.
Which, let me say, initially when she showed up, I was like, this is why are we introducing a new maid here, which is just like Roberta, what's the point? But by the end, I was like, I love this character, it's great.
Yes, so, obviously she's great. She fucking chopped that dude's balls off EliteAri by kicking him in the taint with their spike thing. That's
crazy.
That's in all the compilations, EliteAri. That's one of the most famous Black Lagoon moments ever, because the guy goes on there and she's like, she got me in the balls, and that's a funny one too. And there's a little maid, and the little lolly maid, as they used to say back in the day, that would just beat you up.
Yeah.
It's very much because there are certain characters that are focused on in certain Black Lagoon arcs. You know, Japan was a very big Balalaika arc, and so we follow that up, EliteAri, with a very big Chang arc. Oh my god, we're exploring all the characters. And yeah, sort of like, I don't know, Dutch and Benny aren't really in it too much, but they never are. And then we got a big Rock one. Ed is in it relatively.
Yep. Oh my god, Kyle, and she took her glasses off and she looked beautiful. I couldn't believe it. I was like, thank god for this. This whole time.
Stay away, EliteAri. She's my anime waifu.
You can have her with the glasses on, I guess, because goddamn does she look ugly with the glasses on. It's crazy.
You're an idiot. Oh my god, she fucking blocked Roberta's hit on the plane. Yep. When I was a little boy, I was always like, power scaling. Ed is like the strongest, you know?
God. Yeah, this
certainly
season
not true.
just makes that first Revy Roberta fight be so ridiculous, but yeah.
No, they even tried to cover for it, where it's like, oh, Revy's arms are shot, she can't fight Roberta, and
Yeah, and Roberta's on drugs
where
or whatever,
she
yeah.
wins.
True.
But yeah, she and even when Roberta's like freaking out doing super, she's biting down Chinglish's sword with her fucking teeth, EliteAri.
Yep.
Revy's just like, well, I'm just gonna stay over here and not have a moment where I lose. This is gonna be against my feet. In order to set the programmer videos, I better stay over here. But it's pretty funny. I always did think, you know, Chinglish just got beat up by Roberta. You know, she's a little better than that. You know, they did her dirty.
I think it's consistently Roberta has always been the strongest in this entire show, except for that one guy who beat her in that one fight out of nowhere. That was crazy.
Yeah, but
yeah.
That was sick. Taught her, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. My God, what a fight that was.
Also, EliteAri, on the Fabiola front, I want to point out that when I was a little boy watching this show when I was 13, I had such a big crush on Fabiola, and it was okay.
Okay, thanks for letting us know, Kyle. That's great.
I feel like I've said that elsewhere, but I was like 13 when I watched this show, EliteAri, so I'm pretty cool.
All right,
but that's not why I like it, you idiot. Like
True.
You're always saying.
All right.
I felt like I did all that to bring up another point. What was your original point, EliteAri?
Revy's barely in this season.
True. Who else does this season focus on?
Well, I mean, the main character is probably Rock, right? Which is, I guess that's my last overall thought about how, like, last season, I feel like I didn't understand him at all, and you were implying that, oh, there'll be more of his stuff here, and there absolutely was, and I think I like him way better now that I've, like, seen his defeated feeling about how, like, oh, I couldn't save them, and now he's, like, dedicated. I'm going to save someone here and show the Roanopa that I'm going to, you know, it hasn't got the better of me, and I don't know. He just wants to hurt them.
You were asking, like, why does he want to save Yukio, bro? What the fuck is this all about? Like, he wants to save somebody, EliteAri. He didn't save that little twin.
It's much clearer in this season. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
And also related to Rock's thing, I did very much enjoy the like whole thing about Rock having a plan, and we don't really know what his plan is the whole season. I was on the edge of my seat, like, what was his plan? Is it actually going to work out? Is it not going to work out? Like, it was interesting.
Yeah, this is another overall point where it's like he kind of becomes Light Yagami unironically, and it's like it's probably a little stupid. But,
no, not at all. I think if you can believe that like Balalaika is really smart and Chang's really smart, I can believe that Rock is really smart, especially because he's so distant from everyone else. He can get like a different perspective from them. I don't
know. You get such like he knows like the little details to such a point that he knows Garcia.
He spent a whole day. Remember, he was thinking. He was in his room.
He did spend a whole day, EliteAri, but he figures out that like Garcia is going to like get captured, and then he'll need this note. But I know he's not going to open the note until I tell him to open the note to tell him to go to this location.
I didn't question any of this. It all seemed reasonable to me. I would buy it. Garcia's a little kid.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. I don't care about it too much, right? The plan is cool. But he always does seem to have the right line where it's like, oh, it's a twist and it should be unexpected. But then we cut back to Rock and he said, right about now, the Russians should have moved in. And it's like, shut up, fucking idiot.
I was thinking the whole time it's going to end on like he's going to fail. Like it's going to be like his plan's not going to work. Obviously, at the end when Roberta like shoots Garcia, like everyone's going to die. But it does work. Yeah, that was the big surprise.
But then he also has like a thing like, oh, it actually didn't work because Chang is still in charge.
Well, not even that. The CIA beat him, right? That's the implication.
Oh my God, EliteAri, stop spoiling this.
Okay, yeah, sorry.
You piece of shit.
I mean, we do have a thing. I wanted to clarify these overarching
Oh yeah, you got to clarify, EliteAri. So, well, it looks like you got it correct, right?
Kind of. I think that's the thing that I was most confident on. Now, there's two big things, okay? There's the overarching...
Is Ender the coolest character? Yes, EliteAri, she is.
Yeah, she does win in the end. It was crazy. And she does seem more in control, or like more powerful when she's talking to her like boss at the end, and it's like, oh, this boss seems like an idiot, but she like seems to be more knowledgeable than him or something. So it was cool. I like that. Anyway, well, there's two things. Okay, the overarching military stuff, which was confusing, but I think I generally got that, and then the overarching Rock stuff, which I think is way more confusing, and I'm not sure I understood all of that. So, Kyle, you can clarify this for me, okay? Are you ready?
Okay.
So, for the military stuff, the NSA is the one who like bombed the Venezuelan thing, which killed Garcia's dad at the beginning. Okay, good. And then the CIA isn't happy about that because the CIA prefers to interfere in indirect methods, like through economics and stuff. And we figure that out through like an edit scene where she's like talking about.
I don't think it's like this particular thing that pissed them off. It's just like a general philosophy thing. Okay. And now they've shown up in Roanopa, which is the CIA's little thingy that they've got going on. and they're not happy. It's like these fucking idiots. They're blowing shit up like a bunch of mongrels, and now they're in our fucking cities. I
Yeah,
think they
okay.
even say that at the beginning. The fat dude is like, in that nice little garden bed we've been breeding or whatever.
Okay, perfect. Then we have the American soldiers are the NSA, who are Task 9. They're called Grey Fox Command Group. There's a bunch of names she said, but I don't really care.
Yeah.
Their primary goal is to infiltrate the Golden Triangle, which I think at the end we find out is like that location they go to where they fight Roberta and everything, and that's where all the drugs. Basically, this place is important for drugs, and they need to capture a particular general, which I've written as Shi Yong, but I didn't really look it up or anything, so I don't know if that's correct.
Like his name or something.
And the goal is that the NSA wants to take him to the US so he can be put on trial or whatever. Does that all sound about right?
Yeah,
the NSA's goals.
Kinda, I think.
Okay.
The thing is, this is I didn't spend any time on the wiki doing this watch through, getting clocked up on my real world history. I assume all this stuff is cool references, like the NSA is people that do blow shit up, and they're like the actual bad ass bros in the American military that go in and they'll shoot a Bin Laden or whatever. So I think that's Navy SEAL 6. I'm pretty sure that's a thing I've heard of EliteAri, and I don't think that's them. So I don't know what the fuck. And the CIA is like secretive spies, EliteAri. They're gonna be in your church and you're not even gonna know it, and they're gonna be your best friend. And what the fuck? So yeah, I guess.
Okay.
So that's all. And this triangle thing, which is disputed land or something, so you can grow drugs there and not get arrested. And because they were sending the drugs to the Triad, and that's how the Triad's making a lot of their money, EliteAri. And also,
so the whole go. Also what?
Well, I was gonna say, and another big thing is like the whole point is Chang wants to get them out, because if a bunch of American agents get killed in Roanoke, then everybody's gonna be like, what the fuck's going on over there? And even though it's Roberta coming from outside to do it there, then they're going to be like, well, let's fuck up this place.
Yeah, okay. So that's my next kind of element, which I think that's roughly what I was thinking. However, I think there's more importance placed on this Shi Yong person, because if they're captured, the implication is that the heroin production would have to be shut down, because they're like in control and managing all the stuff that's going on there. And in the end, the Shi Yong person's so important, because the final scene with Edda is saying that the CIA in negotiations in the background on their own just got him. Yeah, and it kind of undermines Rock's entire plan, because it's like, in the end, the CIA was able to just get the guy that they wanted. In the end, they just won, and Rock was able to.
Yeah, and he still doesn't know that they're even a player and stuff.
Because my understanding is that if Rock's plan, or I guess let me just read out my nice summary here. But so you have the CIA and Chang, they're working together roughly, and they want to use Roberta so that they can scare the Americans away, so that the heroin production can continue and the status quo basically remains unchanged. Because Chang is in control, he wants to stay how he is, and it's all great. The CIA wants to maintain their economic manipulation and stuff, so they're happy. They just want things to stay as it is. But then Rock, go ahead,
Well, because the CIA seems to have selected Chang as like the person they want to be in charge. Because there is like a thing about like Rox doesn't really understand how the Triad would have beaten Hotel Moscow, which is kind of something you think as a viewer, like Hotel Moscow, and like the twins couldn't even kill one guy, but they came out and they shot at Chang's guys and they killed like all of them except for Chang. Chang's pretty cool, but his guys seem to suck, and he's got his one yes man dude who's just given exposition and saying calling Rock a pussy or whatever that nobody gives a fuck about. Whereas Balalaika's got a super cool second in command dude.
Yeah, we love him. He's great.
Yeah, so it's like, well, how the fuck did they win? It's like, oh, the Americans fucked the Russians again. Balalaika's getting fucked over by America again. They took everything from her, and they took a Roanoke from her too. That's kind of cool.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so that's the Chang stuff. Now, Rock's end is that Rock has two goals. He wants to save someone, which means Garcia or Roberta. I don't know which one, maybe both, but he wants to save them in that regard. And he also wants to stop the heroin production so that he can undermine Chang, Balalaika, and just Roanoke in general. Like, he wants to show, like, basically wants to lash out at Roanoke by cutting off this heroin production, basically. He just wants to win, basically. He wants to save someone and win at the same time, and show that he is capable, and also punish these people that he doesn't like.
Yeah, I think the show's trying to get into an interesting conflict where it's like, is Rock, like, Chang, like, pissed Rock off? And is it like Rock just having an ego battle with Chang that's making him actually do this? Or is it like he actually wants to save people, and it's sort of like, well, it's kind of both. Because he does save him in the end, but he's still like depressed at the end, and he's like, nothing changed.
Yeah, sure.
I didn't save anybody type thing.
Yeah,
which
he
is a
does
little
say
weird.
that. And I thought, I did think it was a little weird because it's like he did save Garcia and Roberta, which either it's that
So that would
he
seem to say like,
truly,
oh, he doesn't care.
well, either
Like,
it's that he doesn't care or that he just has he wants to achieve too much. He's like, even that he doesn't even consider his one win a win because he didn't win overall. He's like, there was at least one loss, so it doesn't count the one win that I did have. And it's kind of like a depressing, like, I'm never going to get everything I want. I don't know, something like that.
oh, this is just the middle part of the series, bro, and eventually he's gonna find out that Air is the CIA, and then he's gonna be able to destroy him.
That would be
What
crazy.
I have a note down there at the end somewhere. It was like, obviously, EliteAri, the CIA is the final boss of Black Lagoon, and I'd never thought about that until this moment, EliteAri, because again, in my head, Black Lagoon just ends here. But fucking Jane's back next episode, EliteAri. What the fuck's she gonna be doing? And she has a friend, and that friend, EliteAri, I'm gonna tell you the one spoiler I know, kisses Rock at some point.
Oh,
and I know this is a big thing of discussion because it's like, did Revy react? And I don't know how Revy react, but I know there's Reddit threads on it, but I didn't read them. Oh my goodness. I guess that's probably. I don't want to do this now, EliteAri, but Black Lagoon might end with him and Revy running away or something. The other spoiler I know, EliteAri, is that apparently Dutch is like a fraud or something in an upcoming arc, and he didn't actually serve in the Vietnam War, and like he's like secretly might be like an even badder guy or something.
Oh,
that's
no,
the only other
not
spoiler
my
I know.
Dutch.
So
I
it's
love
like,
Dutch.
maybe we get rid of Dutch because he's no good, and Benny goes and marries Jane and runs away, and we can run away to somewhere with a Revy, and that's the end. Because there's no way Rock's actually gonna. It's not a funny meme post about the Japanese guy beating the CIA, is it?
There's no way. No, there's no way he will undermine the CIA. If anything, he could manipulate the CIA into achieving like destruction of Rwanda.
He becomes a CIA agent and he marries Etta, EliteAri. That's a crazy plot twist.
Yeah, maybe.
What are you talking about? Yeah,
that would be very crazy.
2 arcs I got to read, EliteAri, but I got to read all the other ones first. You know, I'm probably gonna get bored and give up.
Now we're not done with this overarching storyline because now I have the most confusing bit that I'm just trying to understand here. Okay. So there is the one scene I think you were referencing when Chang is like sitting in his chair and the random like his lackey comes in and it says like, "Oh, you manipulated Rock and Balalaika and blah blah blah." I don't know what the hell he's talking about there. Because firstly, how did Chang manipulate Balalaika at all in this situation is what I don't understand.
Well, because she knew. Because I think there's no reason that Roberta shouldn't just kill the Americans in the city. Still, it's like Chang's plan, I think. Now, this is a little confusing, EliteAri, but I think I thought through it, like, because I knew it was a little confusing, and I tried to think through it, and I think I figured it out.
Okay.
But maybe not. So, these Americans are in the city. He knows this because Etta told him. Well, initially, he's suspicious that somebody's in the city, and why is Garcia here and the maid coming back because everybody's scared about the maid from last time. And so the maid's going to be here. The maid has to be here somewhere. And she's looking for somebody, and they're trying to figure it out. Then Etta tells him, fucking NSA guys are here. They killed the fucking father. I don't fucking know. And then he's like, oh, fuck, what do I do? If these Americans get killed here, everything's over. So how do I get him out? So his first plan is go play on Rock's. Now, they all know that Rock is like a softie somehow, which it would make sense for Balalaika to know. I don't know exactly why Chang knows that, but okay. People talk or something, they know.
Yep. So
he's like, you got to make them find Roberta, and if they find Roberta, they'll convince Roberta to go home and not kill him. Because she had already killed the high-ranking dude already or something. With the coals and stuff, EliteAri, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But, this is not Chang's plan. I think this is revealed later. But the Balalaika part is that he knows Balalaika is going to get pissy because Balalaika hates Americans for ruining her life. And so she's not going to kill them because she understands that that would mean that they're all going to die. Because, again, America would show up and fuck everything up. But she's going to make sure that, like, they get out, but she's going to do some sort of big display, and that's going to be, like, to fuck up Roberta to try and show how strong she is and facilitate them escaping. But how is he going to know that they're going to be in the exact situation?
But even then, I'm trying to understand as well, because we get this story, we get the backstory of Chang and Balalaika, and apparently, like, Balalaika wants revenge for Chang shooting her or, like, beating her or whatever. I don't understand how Balalaika's actions in this arc would even get revenge on Chang at all. Like, what is she doing?
Well, I don't think this was a play to get revenge on Chang at all.
Well, then why did because Rock is like talking about how it's important to understand all the players, and he talks about trying to understand that Balalaika wants revenge. So he has that one scene where he's talking to Eda, I think, or maybe even before that, and it
Yeah.
seems like it's important that she's trying to get revenge, but I don't feel like it ever plays out in any way.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think that might just be brought up to like fill in backstory / maybe set up stuff for the future, because
okay.
every Balalaika and like it's been clear throughout the show that Balalaika isn't happy that she's like number 2 and she's pissy about it.
Yeah.
But she also has this oddly like flirty relationship with Chang, which is interesting and kind of cute. And I've seen a lot of shipping on the Black Lagoon subreddit, EliteAri.
Okay.
So it's another thing where maybe that's like a little bit complicated. That would be funny. So yeah, I guess it's just to sort of reiterate that like underneath she is supposed to hate Chang. Oh, does she love him? Does she hate him? Oh my god, maybe it's a bit of a mixture. Oh my god, that's just like Rock and Revy, brother. Maybe that's where we're going. But yeah, I don't think like Balalaika's actions here was supposed to be like getting revenge on Chang.
Yeah.
She is in it not much at all.
Yep.
Yeah.
This is like Chang's season, which I think you implied last time that we'd get more of him, which we certainly did.
Yeah.
And I do like him. He's a great character. We'll see where he is on my tier list at the end if we remember to do it.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
We'll see where he is in the next arc, brother. I'll just don't worry, EliteAri. I'll read it. I'll give you the spoilers, okay?
Yep. How many? Do you know how many chapters there are?
I know that like there's 2 more arcs besides this one, and a third one that's just started. And on our last video, EliteAri, somebody put in the comments, "Oh my god, this week we got a new Black Lagoon chapter and a new discussion." So it's still coming out. I wonder if they're averaging like 3 chapters a year, because I think it's in a monthly magazine. So I think these chapters are relatively long. Not these Berserk chapters where it's still like 15 pages, even though it's every month. We're talking Attack on Titan length. Actually, I have no idea how long they are. Yeah. But I think they're more than like 10 pages. Maybe
they could be
Vinland Saga length.
Yeah.
Yeah. Vinland Saga length is okay, Alira. It's more than Berserk ever was. But fucking, can you believe it, EliteAri? 40 pages every month for a fucking Attack on Titan. Never missed one. He did.
Yeah, those
I think he did end up missing one at the end. God damn it. God damn it, EliteAri. Oh my god, we're gonna do Black Lagoon chapter review soon, EliteAri. Get caught up, pussy.
That'd be wild.
But yeah, why was I monologuing? Oh, the Shang's gonna be somewhere next arc, EliteAri. This is gonna be crazy. What's Greenback? I know Greenback Jane's friend that kisses Rock is Chinese, EliteAri. Remember, I read the summary of the next chapter.
That's crazy. Isn't Revy like half Chinese? Oh my god,
EliteAri. Oh my god.
All right, well,
she's gonna be so jealous, EliteAri. She's like a cute girl with glasses because she's Jane's
like
friend,
Roberta.
So really, like,
oh my god.
Girl. No, not dumb glasses like that. Cool girl, I'm a scientist glasses. Not I'm a pissy maid glasses. Roberta.
Yep. Like Android 21 from Dragon Ball Z.
Android 21.
All right. Anyway, okay. So
Android 18 is nearly as hot as Eda, bro. We love the blonde anime girl.
The only, besides the episode notes, episode by episode, and the miscellaneous notes at the end, which I haven't really looked at, I only have standout moments. Now, I don't know if we want to do this here or just when we get to each moment, I can just say, oh, this is a moment.
No, I'd do it here. I didn't write any down.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5. Okay, so the first one.
1 for each episode. What a genius.
I don't think so, but maybe. So the first one was, it's a very minor one, but it was really cool when, they're all going to meet Garcia and they open the door and Chang's inside and then he takes out Fabiola and it's like, oh my god, this is sick.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. She did just run at him with a gun though, so that was pretty funny. But
yep, but it was cool because Chang's awesome. That was sick.
And then he has a cool line like, calm down, little lady, or something.
Oh yes, I wrote it somewhere in these notes. I don't know where it is. Oh no, not that one. That's not the one I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of later where he's like, apologies, Senor Garcia. So it was something really formal and the monotone delivery was great. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, because they pissed him off or something when Garcia was like, she's not a... And then he's like, my apologies, Senor. Yep. But also he tells Revy not to smoke and that was funny.
Oh my god, I found the line, Kyle. Okay, he says, 1,000 pardons, Senor Garcia. Let us resume. I was like, what a line. 1,000 pardons. What a genius thing to say.
Many thanks for watching. That's Alexander thing, EliteAri.
Fantastic.
I thought I was doing a film buff thing. What does he say?
Does he even say anything? I don't think he says anything. He's like, see you next time.
Film buff said anything.
I don't know.
There's another one where it's like, see you next Tuesday.
I can imagine Film Buff reacting to Black Lagoon. It feels like his type of show.
Yeah, he would just be sitting there aghast in like episode 3 about how deep the show is, and he would know everything
he
that
would
you didn't
understand
figure out until the end, inherently by the look on Revy's face. It would be great.
Yep, he'd predict the ending and not be spoiled, I'm sure. So
Then we would look up Black Lagoon video essay, and all my great videos would come up. Except now, EliteAri, other people have started making them, and some of them are more popular than my one.
that's a shame.
Professor Viral. That's the only channel I can think of, EliteAri.
Yeah, but don't worry, it's okay.
Bonsai Pop, I think that's one.
I've heard of that channel name.
They're all no good.
Okay, next standout moment. So,
hurry me along, EliteAri.
so this is the best scene, which I was alluding to before. We probably should just talk about it here, I guess. It's best in terms of emotions, in terms of probably directing, in terms of voice acting, in terms of everything, which is Roberta killing the guy and then Garcia coming in and seeing her, and then her reaction to that, to seeing Garcia there, is the best scene, obviously, right? You agree? It's so cool. Like just like Garcia's hesitation to go there because he's so afraid, and then he actually does go there, and it's like, oh my god, look at him, he's so brave. And then the fact that Roberta is like, she's kind of lost, and she's lost her way, but she sees Garcia, and then she's freaking out, and her voice, like she's been using this like more stoic kind of action voice, and then she reverts to her like maid voice because she's seeing Garcia, and she's freaking out, she doesn't know what to do, and she says, there's like 2 lines she says, I don't know, I probably have written later, but they were really cool.
Wait, are you talking about the scene with the fucking, or the scene at the end?
No, the scene like after the sex, but like after she's killed the guy there. That's the scene I'm talking about. She
screams or whatever and goes, you can't see me like that.
No, she doesn't just scream. She reverts to her maid like voice and accent, which is really cool. And she also does freak out. The freaking out is really cool as well. And it's just great. It's the best scene. The most emotional as well. We see the guy who she killed, and it's like, oh, this guy, he was like,
his face is gone.
Yeah, his face is gone. He was like here, and then now he's not. And yeah, crazy. I love this scene. This is probably the most emotional investment I had in anything. I was like, oh no, Garcia, this isn't good. You're brave for like showing up, but like you shouldn't be here. And I'm like, oh no, Roberta, you poor soul, your mind is gonna break by seeing Garcia. And oh no, and she's gonna kill him because it's like she thinks she's hallucinating. And then we get the flashback to the guy behind her about like how she killed this like this office worker technician guy. And I'm like, oh no,
definitely not Japanese guy dressed in Rock's outfit guy.
Yeah, it was sweet. It was sick. Anyway. I love that scene. Another standout moment. Probably the best scene.
Oh no, I do have a note on it, so we'll talk about that later. Actually.
Okay.
The scene in question, there was something I was gonna bring up about it. You know. Oh yeah, and then like there's a shot, but then the cool American marching song comes in because the episode's ending, and they saved him, and they say it over the radio. It's pretty cool, right?
Oh yeah, they're like, we got a kid or something. And I'm like, oh my god, he survived. Yeah, true.
They got a kid.
Yeah.
All right. I will say, because I thought about doing like we do standout scenes, but I really couldn't think of any. Whereas I definitely could for previous seasons. Like, again, the car scene, obviously the best scene in Black Lagoon. The Etta reveal scene that she's in the CIA is sick. Submarine. But I was thinking more just season 2.
Yeah.
The Yukio telling Rock off speech is pretty sick. There's others, but, I'm just forgetting them right now.
Yep, true.
But for this season, I was like, it's all good, but nothing stands out. I do remember thinking the balalaika speech was way cooler than it was, and it was just kind of pathetic.
Wait, which speech?
Like, oh yeah, the why did our country treat us like that? Oh my god!
Look at that! You predicted my next standout moment. Balalaika telling Caxton, which is what I've written his name as here, that he was fired for being. Oh, she was fired for being seen saving a kid by the media. I was like, oh my god, this is so sad. It's cool, especially because we see him in the opening scene saving a kid. I'm like, oh my god, he relates and he probably feels bad in this moment, but she's also feeling bad, and oh my god, it's great. We love it.
Oh my god, this is another big topic, EliteAri, is like, if this series was made by a white person, it would get accused of like America worship, because the NSA guys are really nice.
Oh, they are. Like, that was very surprising, yeah.
And it's like everybody else in the show is portrayed as like evil dudes, and they did just blow up like innocent people, but they're still really nice and stuff. So if a white person made this, it'd be like, virtue signaling, America industrial complex propaganda. But it's made by a Japanese person who seems to be rather critical of the U.S. generally. Yep. He's like, this world's just gonna get fucked up because America's so on top. Etta has a cool line about that. I don't know if I wrote it down. Or it's like, what does she say? Oh, it's something because she's basically replacing the word God with America in the lines she's saying because it's in a church and she's churchy and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, America is the highest authority there is, or whatever. And and then there's other things like, because Yolanda, the old lady in the ripoff church, is obviously in on it. She's the CIA contact. She's not in the CIA
Yeah.
EliteAri, but she knows about it, and Eda has to explain things to her, and that's really cool and stuff. And she has a monologue about, oh my god, you're just so on top, you just fight with yourself. It's crazy. What did I bring that up for, EliteAri? Why? Oh, because America worship, Lamau. But yeah, and it's kind of like, oh, in the American reality, saving the kid didn't cost Shane everything, but in that disgusting Russia or in the Soviet Union, saving an enemy child is viewed as a bad thing. And
Well,
she
it kind of,
discharged and stuff.
Yeah. True.
It's like unjust. And it turned Balalaika from a nice young lady who saves kids into shooting little vampire kids, EliteAri, and beating up high schoolers in Japan and bullying our boy Rock and just being not a nice person. It's because
Whereas
of the injustice.
Shane, he's a good guy, right? He doesn't want to shoot the kid. He thinks he's responsible for the death. He's like, kill me. You have the right.
Yeah, he's like, we don't shoot kids, Sergeant.
Yep.
And then even the sergeant brings up the Destiny talking point, EliteAri, about how if a kid's trying to shoot at you, you can actually shoot him, and that's totally okay. And then he's like, no, I got principles.
He's pretty cool.
There's a line about principles in here as well, EliteAri. It ties into the Rowanapa thing about how everybody's just like a fallen hero. Where it's like, oh, everybody used to have... There's something about principles. I don't remember who says it, but I remember noting it. Not down, where I could check it right now, EliteAri, but in my brain, the most powerful weapon of all, where somebody said something about principles.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always remembering things, EliteAri.
Okay. All right, next standout moment then. Which maybe you'll want to save this for later, I guess. But it's Fabiola confronting Revy, and it's the whole Revy thing on the boat about, you know, I think this is it is another standout thing up there with the Roberta thing, where she's talking about how like Revy, I guess the Revy, the rock that
with
she,
him, pussy, admit it.
No, not even that, but the Fabiola, how she's talking about how the rock that she sees isn't the Revy, isn't the rock that Revy talks about or whatever. Yeah, it's great. All right.
Quoting the whole scene into my videos, EliteAri.
Oh, well done.
Scene out to me. Basically spells everything out for you.
Well, the other side was more the love thing about how, like, if Revy she doesn't want to look too hard, because if she does look too close or hard or whatever, then she will see that Rock isn't the person, the shining knight in armor or whatever. That was sick. We love it.
I feel like, I have notes about this later, so I guess we'll save this for a little bit later.
And then we have the final standout moment, which completely, when I watched it, I had to look this up because I'm like, I don't know what the hell's going on here, okay? But now that I understand what's going on, and it was just like a thing I missed at the beginning, it's really great, which is right at the end when Roberta is seeing the family of the person that she killed. That was really good. And that is the background image that we have at the moment for our discussion, Kyle, believe it or not.
Oh my god! She's missing an arm and a leg, EliteAri.
Yep.
Shane's even there, so she like tolerates him being there.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And we get this really nice new ending song, which I liked. In this moment.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, I have never actually listened to that song independently. I always forget about it, but there you go. For whatever reason, I was half expecting World of Midnight to play again, but
is that the twin song?
Okay,
yeah. Okay, yes, thank you.
That one?
Yeah.
Greatest song of all time. I'm sure you've had it on a repeat. Oh, EliteAri, they only play, and I think you can correct me if I'm wrong, they only play the song one time in the whole fucking Roberta thing. Roberta's song,
which
you know.
Song? Oh, I don't even remember. I don't know.
They play it in the flashback Garcia has to his father, telling him the thing about looking at things from different perspectives. When we're flashing back to the good times at the manor, and I was like, oh, that's kind of suitable. But it's only once, EliteAri. It's the greatest anime OST song of all time. Oh, it's so
maybe in future seasons when the manga's done, they can.
Maybe in future seasons, you know.
Yep.
We can clickbait. You can clickbait a YouTube video with Black Lagoon season 4, EliteAri. It'll get 1 million views. I can see it. What do you say?
That's all my standout moments.
There's this last scene. Oh, EliteAri, another thing I know about the manga is that that last scene, EliteAri, is anime only. Apparently, Roberta doesn't lose any limbs or anything in the manga, and it's set up that they could come back later.
Well, the anime made a good choice then, because I think it's really good. Very emotionally cathartic ending to an OVA about Roberta. I think it works well.
There was an extra detail, because I don't know, this is a comment or something on one of my videos. Maybe it was that the whole family situation, like the innocent dude she shot was also anime only or something.
Maybe I could see that.
I don't remember. But I remember everybody saying, like, yeah, they changed a lot of the very end to try and make it, like, endy.
It works.
because
They did a good
yeah.
job.
And I think when they were animating this, like there wasn't many more chapters beyond this, so they didn't fucking have anything to like foreshadow or whatever.
Oh, I just remembered. When I was first watching, this is kind of related to Roberta. The first opening scene with what's his name, Shane Paxton, whatever. I thought that he was saving Roberta basically, but not at all. It was just some random girl, I guess.
Oh
Anyway,
yeah,
yeah.
That was a Vietnamese girl leader.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, oh, I don't know. That whole scene, I had to go back at the end and be like, what is it? What was happening there? Because I didn't really understand until later on. Like I remembered when Balalaika mentioned the I saved a kid or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's just like the opening scene. And then I went back and I was like, oh, it's the same guy. Oh my god, that's crazy. So it all worked out.
And Roberta just wants to save a kid sometimes, and you know, Rock
So
wanted
Rock,
to save that
God,
one little kid, and Revy never wanted to save anybody. That's kind of funny, but we'll get into that later. She's just like those Nazis. She's just kind of a bad guy, but we love her. Fuck, there was something else I wanted to say about. We'll retrace our steps a little bit later. Everybody wants to save a kid. Roberta, endings, manga,
anime only, the family.
Roberta's gonna show up again one day. He's gonna be sick.
To have robot legs and stuff would be sick. Oh my god.
No, she's got all.
She's like literally a Terminator, just like she was referenced by Dutch that one time.
Oh my god. I'm not gonna remember EliteAri. We can move on. Are we diving into episode by episode analysis now?
Yep, I'm ready.
Well, EliteAri, we're on to episode 25, of course, Collateral Massacre. Now, these Wikipedia recaps, I could easily read them, EliteAri. It would take literally 3 minutes to read them all in one go. But maybe we'll just do one at a time. We'll see how it goes for the first episode. I will say the first 10 minutes has no recognizable Black Lagoon characters or main cast members. It's like a minute with Shane in the gang, and then it's 9 minutes with Roberta. It's pretty cool. And then we see Rock, I think, and he's walking down a street and stuff. And then Revy is dramatically introduced by her boots. It was crazy. This isn't in the Wikipedia. This is just off the dome, EliteAri. Collateral Massacre. Original release date, July 17th, 2010. English release date, August 6th, 2013. What were they doing? Why were they taking so long? After Roberta's employer, Diego Lovelace, we like that fella, died in an explosion set off by US agents at the event of a emerging left-wing party in Venezuela, EliteAri. You know, Venezuela became socialist, at some point, EliteAri, so maybe they won in the end. That's crazy. And then they fell apart, and now they're completely ruined because socialism is dumb, EliteAri. And a lot of people said America did it, and America did it in this. So I don't know. Black Lagoon informs my opinion
life
on things.
Imitates art or whatever.
Yeah, Black Lagoon's smartest. It knows everything about geopolitics, EliteAri. Disappears to hunt down and kill the perpetrators. Remember that part? Sometime later, Garcia Lovelace is accompanied to Ryanapa by his maid and bodyguard, Fabiola Iglesias. She's so cool, EliteAri. Greatest introduction scene, great subversion. She's just showing up. EliteAri hated it.
Kyle's
he already said that because he's an idiot. Oh my god, yes. Little 13-year-old me was like, oh my goodness, she's just like me. No, it's Revy, EliteAri. Anyway, following a shootout with enemies, Roberta's made during her last visit to the city, Fabiola takes the Lagoon Company to see her young employer, whom she finds in the presence of Chang. Garcia and Fabiola recount to their guests what has transpired to make a job offer, which Dutch declines in the name of the Lagoon Company, unwilling to get drawn into the conflict with the United States. The offer, however, is directed specifically at Rock. Meanwhile, Roberta appears in the city looking for equipment necessary to wage war. Oh my god, when she shows up actually at the end of the episode to pull Bao when his bar is all blown up again, EliteAri. Hilarious, great gag. And he's like, do we look fucking open to you? And then she realizes it's the mate and he freaks out and it's really cool. Anyway, that's the end of the recap, EliteAri. Classic episode. All episodes 35 minutes long, EliteAri.
I guess we haven't said anything, but yeah, I did like the length. The episode lengths were good, and the season length was good. It was nice, enjoyable watch.
True. I talked about atmosphere. It was given the time to be slow, EliteAri. We love that.
Yep.
Except in Chainsaw Man. Remember when that was slow and it ruined everything? So anyway, we got the intro point in my notes here. We got feathers in the American dude's Vietnam flashback. We pointed that out already. Outfit change, EliteAri won't like that. ... Shower scene with side boob. The song is back.
Yep.
Maybe the song was in this one.
Maybe, yeah.
So you see
So
a
it was a
half a
naked
boob.
shower, yeah.
Remember my funny anecdote about the reactor? Do you remember that, EliteAri? I think I brought that up.
No, I don't. What did you
I
say?
was once in 2015, maybe, EliteAri, watching a reaction to Black Lagoon.
Mm.
And this one dude was just begging. No, well, actually, we see this scene, and he was probably like, "That's pretty fucking hot, bro." And then there's a Revy one later when she's getting in the shower, and he
Yep.
starts begging. He's like, "Please show Revy naked, please." And then he got a side boob, and he freaked out, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's funny."
Mm.
I was like 13 watching that, EliteAri. What a terrible influence on me.
Yep.
But anyway, that was hilarious. Leary, you laughed last time, and you laughed this time. This is great.
It's a great anecdote. Well done, and a great
All right,
scene.
so which nude shower scene did you like the most, EliteAri?
They were both
Obviously,
very
wherever you want.
different contextually. Well, but also they.
Oh,
I was
both,
kind
like,
of wondering, like, what
Getting
is the
ready to go
parallel?
and fight.
Is that what it was? You think?
Well, half of it is that this is an OVA, so we can show titty. Half of it,
Well,
at
yeah,
least.
but there is a parallel.
It's
Obviously,
both
it
like
looked
they're both
identical
ready to
scenes.
go to war for their boyfriends that they probably should
Okay,
have.
that's what I was
Garcia and
expecting.
Rock.
I mean, that's what I was took
Yeah.
from it, and also the fact that they're doing it on bad intentions, like where they probably are misreading the person that they're trying to help. Like, 'cause
Yeah.
at the end, we get that Roberta was doing all this for Garcia, and the whole time we've seen that Revy is not really seeing the Rock that is happening in reality, and it's like, oh, they're both doing
Yeah, I
things for
think
bad.
this is a. Why am I getting 15 Discord notifications, Lyra? I'm gonna kill
I
somebody.
have no idea.
That's another massive thing that's in all those Rock and Revy videos is a lot of the like, oh, they like miss that, like they're not seeing the actual person, and sort of like the hypocrisy that comes with that. That happened a lot with Rock and Yukio.
Yeah, true.
Which I think is like the main one in the big Rock and Revy video. The big one in terms of viewership, not in terms of length, Lyra, you understand.
Right.
A lot of it's about how Yukio's right and Rock was a piece of shit because he hates when Revy does this to him, but he did this to Yukio, where he wasn't seeing her, and yeah, that sort of happens here with Garcia and stuff, and Roberta, and I guess it's part of the parallel.
Mm.
But yeah, it is interesting that the women in Black Lagoon, EliteAri, they're pretty strong, they're fighting and stuff, so that's like feminism point one. It is kind of funny how they're all kind of subservient to men in a weird way. But they're subservient to like the idea of these men that is kind of real and kind of not. It's a very interesting sort of dynamic for like them to both be like the muscle basically.
Mm.
Because men are just so smart, EliteAri, but we're also strong, EliteAri. You should be both. I'm flexing
Right, like
now.
Chang, yeah.
Yes, Chang don't have no bitch except Balalaika, who's subservient to him because she's number 2, but she's actually the muscle.
Mm-hmm.
Though Chang who's going to win the fight? I guess Chang won last time.
Chang won, yeah.
Nah.
But he had the back end of the CIA. It's not fair,
Well, it seems like they had a one-on-one fight and they were both dressed up in cool suits like they were on a date or something, EliteAri. I'm telling you, there's some context there. They're kissing. I don't know if they're fucking, EliteAri, but they kissed. And they did the kiss, and then they backed off with their guns and started shooting. It was sick.
Mm-hmm.
I can write this goddamn show. Anyway, cigarette kissing. What was I saying, EliteAri?
About men and women.
Yeah, it's interesting. They're like the muscle, but they're not so smart and stuff. And it's like, oh, they just love their boys, but like, it's not really. Anyway, we're gonna talk about the not really seeing people thing later.
Yeah.
Because it's awesome. I guess we're going to save it for the end, or the next time we bring it up, we're going to get frustrated and just talk about it then. But we're not talking about it now, EliteAri.
Okay.
So we got side boob. EliteAri, did you like the new outfit?
Yeah, it was good. I liked it. I mean, I honestly, I wasn't a big, I don't really like the maid outfit that much. But the glasses I love. It's purely the missing glasses. Like if she was wearing her current outfit with the glasses, I'd be like, this is perfect. But
that would be very thematically appropriate, EliteAri.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Then my next note is CIA and NSA are at each other. I probably should have said at each other's throats. We see the Langley guys. Oh my god, EliteAri, this is another one of the Easter eggs. It's for one shot we see the CIA guys we see at the end of season 1 and when Revy's talking to him. And they're just like taking photos of the NSA guys, maybe in Roanapa or something. So that was really cute. It's like, oh my god, we love Black Lagoon too. Where we love Black Lagoon too. We the creators, and we remember all these little details. Crazy. Even 4 years later or whatever the fuck this has been.
Yeah.
and there's like a CIA thing or an NSA thing where they're like, oh, we'll do as much as we can without starting a war. And it's like, oh, we can assassinate some political rivals we don't like in a third world country to influence their political structure. That's not going to cause a war, and we can get away with that. But they don't want to start wars, leader. That's funny.
Yep.
But anyway, we don't see Rock and Revy till 10 minutes in. Revy is so happy Roberta is back. I just heard some fucked up news, she says on the phone. It's pretty funny. The maid Dutch. I got lines written out, Leary. You know how I like to do that.
Yep.
I didn't write out any monologues this time, Leary. There's no car scene
Excellent.
where I'm going to rehearse the whole thing, you know. It's just not as good as the Japan arc, you know what I'm saying? The direction is much different, I'm saying. It might actually be better. There's a slowness to it, and there's thinner faces. I feel like I already said all these things. Subversion with Fabiola entering the bar is great.
Cool.
And Revy has a similar line to a line she has in season 2, I think, where it's when Jane's there, and she goes to Etta like, I hate this bitch. She reminds me of my... What does she say, Leary? It's something funny about her, like, her youth detainment bitch or something. I probably got the line here, Leary. Bitch. Do you think I got... Oh, there's a lot of bitches. When I control F to delete her. Big fucking mistake. I'm gonna make that bitch wish she was home cleaning shitty toilets. Oh my god, that's when Revy's beating the fuck out of your girlfriend, EliteAri, Roberta.
She lost the fight.
I'm gonna kill this bitch. What did you just say, EliteAri?
I mean, Roberta beat her up and won the fight.
No. Heartless bitch. Oh, that's the Irish guy. Reminds me of someone. She's just like that bitch from my childhood welfare center. And then I have Dash Hilarious. I found it. But in this one, EliteAri, she turns to Rock and she says, I hate her. She talks like that bitch in glasses. It was great. It was said in the same like rhythm as that line, EliteAri. I'm not crazy, right? Their lines were similar.
Right. It's another parallel.
And it was hilarious. Yes. We'll say Roberta's Blood Trail also not as funny as the rest of Black Lagoon. You know?
And thank God for that. Yep.
Shut up, EliteAri.
Except the funniest thing where I was laughing out loud when that guy like showed up and tried to do his ultimate move. That was great.
And she kicked him in the balls.
Yeah, it's great.
That wasn't so funny. It was funnier last time when they did that gag when he got shot.
No, it was funnier this time because he actually he almost did it. He like went really far this time, and I was like, oh my god, he might actually be useful here because it's like all being built up so that he's like the subversion, like he's gonna actually beat Roberta. It's gonna be crazy, but no.
Oh my god, EliteAri, you just reminded me of something. There's also biggest missed opportunity in this whole OVA. When Revy calls Chinglish, she's just getting out of the shower, but we got no Chinglish side boob.
That's a shame. Well, they need to like mess with the parallels anyway, so it's probably for the best.
But we want to see boobs, EliteAri.
No, we only want them if they like are important to the story.
That's why I'm gonna watch Blue-Eyed Samurai next, EliteAri. It's gonna be fun.
Okay. Yep.
I read it on the list, EliteAri, and I'm not even joking. Pretends to be... How come you sold it to me in your shitty digest better than Bacon sold it to me in his video? I'm a little weird, I think. Anyway, pretends to do the old outro, then fades to the new one. Pretty sick. Shots of everyone when they're younger. True, the visuals in this outro are a little weird, EliteAri, and they're all like
I think it's pretty
covered
cool.
up by EliteAri, there's one shot of a kid that's like mid-singing, which is exactly like the shot in the end of Attack on Titan Season 3. Where we're flashing to like fake Marley at the end when Wit is like retiring. There's like it's like the same shot.
I don't remember.
Of like a kid with his mouth open singing. It's like a little boy with black hair. Like it's just a reference and they just jacked it. But EliteAri, you know what we say when we get in situations like this? It's probably both referencing an older thing, you know? It's not Devilman this time. Stop telling me it is. Now we're on to episode 26, an office man's
Wait a minute.
tactic.
I got one note for episode, the first one, which is that it does feel a bit different for the Lagoon crew to be recognized so much. They felt much more famous. Like everyone was talking about the Lagoon crew, and even the muggers at the beginning who like mugged Rock, they knew who Revy was, and I was like, oh, this is like, they kind of feel a bit famous now.
Oh yeah, she's like, do you know who the fuck I am, bitch?
Yeah, I never picked that up in previous seasons, so maybe the stuff in Japan, maybe about like
What about your favorite? Your favorite episode 3 when everybody's going, that Dutch, he's a guy.
Wait, is that when was this? Episode 3 of
in
what?
Episode 3, EliteAri, you're like, Dutch
of
is
what?
my favorite character
of season
because
1
everybody respects him. Of season 1, EliteAri.
Oh god,
when he's walking
like
around and he's doing chores and he's like...
That is why I like Dutch so much.
is that piece of shit still working for that Ivan whore? And he's like, I think he is. And then
You know
the
what?
granny's like, come hang out with me, Dutch.
The more I think about it, no. The more I think about it, I probably felt like they were more famous because some random mugger just recognized Revy, like some random someone who was just trying to steal Rock's wallet. I was like, oh, okay.
She's
I guess
famous
everyone
in the
knows.
city, EliteAri, okay.
Yeah, even the random people who want to steal stuff know her. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a city of thieves, EliteAri. Oh, and that was a little allegory for the whole conflict, EliteAri, where Rock wanted to help that little kid out, but by helping that little kid out and letting him steal a wallet, he would get a big head and start trying to steal people's wallets that would actually kill him.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh my god, you think you're doing a good thing, but that good thing actually spirals into much badder things later on.
Yeah.
Interesting philosophical concept, EliteAri. You know, Black Lagoon's real smart and stuff. Anyway, people are like dice, EliteAri, if you didn't know.
Thanks, Kyle. That's great.
God, that was a good callback, huh? I thought about that one as soon as I said it, you know?
Mm.
There's no filter here. Episode 26, EliteAri, how about you shut your mouth? Should I... are my notes good enough, or do I have to read Wikipedia again? Let's read the first line of Wikipedia and see if it jumps out at us. Encouraged by Chang, Rock agrees to help locate Roberta. True, we don't need this shit.
Remember we see him, put Rock on the car? Oh my god. Because Rock's like,
yes,
oh my god,
and
I'm
also
being
we
pressured.
see a little Garcia cutout with the cross in it. I know I used that in some videos for some screenshots to put when I didn't have too much to put on screen, EliteAri. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. Garcia with a cross?
So he's got a photo of Yu-Gi-Oh with the cross in it.
Yep,
and then he sees... But it also goes over Fabiola, and she's not a character yet, but obviously that's how the season develops, so oh my god, it's cool. Fabiola's the best, greatest character in Black Lagoon. Not true, EliteAri. She's like a S tier character. She's probably like 10th, you know.
She's probably the... I'm trying to think, are there any other cute, adorable characters in this? I think she's the only one that's kind of cute.
Chainsaw Girl?
No, she's not cute. She's kind of weird, but funny, I guess.
So you don't want to read her light novels?
Not really. No, I don't want to. But it is I don't think there are any other cute characters in Black Lagoon now that I think about it.
Let me think. Greenback Jane is annoying and gets panty shots, so she's hot. That's not cute.
Okay.
Rico, remember Rico, Edda's little helper?
Oh yeah, he was kind of. I guess he's kind of cute. Yeah. Yeah.
The twins?
No, they're definitely not cute. No. I guess they have the aesthetic of being cute, but Yukio's
she was
friend?
like a little.
She's not cute. She's just like a normal high school student.
The kids that Revy taught how to shoot in Japan.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nah, they're just little shitty kids.
Fabiola's different because she comes in all high and mighty, but isn't. I don't know. She just. There's just the air about her is adorableness.
She makes her cheeks big when she's angry. Yeah, that's cute.
And she's embarrassed when she goes to the pool to swim and Garcia sees her. It's,
true,
cute
great
stuff
scene,
that.
great scene. Yeah. And then he makes her swim with him later in the sea, and they hug and stuff, and they're making out, bro. But that's not who Garcia ends up making out with, EliteAri. We'll get to that later.
Her boy.
She got Misato, you know? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't really work because it's the other way around.
Yeah.
Shinji didn't kiss Misato, you know. Anyway, a reopen that's slightly different from the close in the last one. Why do people do this? This is a great topic, EliteAri, that really has nothing to do with Black Lagoon. So there's the beginning of this episode, EliteAri. They open with the same events of the last 10 seconds of the last episode, but they change the dialogue. You know, shows do this.
Yeah, I've seen other shows.
Phenomena?
I don't remember them in this, but yeah.
Berserk started doing this at at the Hill of Swords. Berserk did this in those chapters, and I think it did a little bit before and a little bit after. And it's always it's so weird and so funny. I don't know. Part of me, I was brainstorming EliteAri, why the fuck would you do this? Because there's other TV shows that'll do this. I didn't remember Black Lagoon doing it. There is an anime that does it. I just can't remember what it is. Do you think it's they don't want to seem like they're lazy for replaying footage? So they're oh, let's change it a little bit. We'll do a different angle and add a different voice so people won't accuse us for being lazy. What else could be the possible... Unless it's some god tier meta narrator stuff, which could be which I could buy Berserk
No, it's
doing.
not.
Where it's we're not actually seeing how the events happen. We're just seeing it's like the same principles but portrayed in a slightly different way. And doesn't this change things
Yeah,
slightly?
that's
And
too cool. There's no way.
isn't that how stories are represented? And you should see things from different angles, like Garcia's father said, EliteAri. It's probably not that. It's probably just a thing that
It's
other shows
definitely
do
not.
that we incorporated here.
I think it's just to make sure people are engaged. But I don't even know. Yeah, maybe it truly is your thing you're saying about like just not wanting to reuse footage. That could just be it. I don't know.
But why would you care about that?
When it comes to live action stuff, I think it's pretty obvious because sometimes you can have different directors for different episodes, and it's like the episode director for the next episode like has to fill their 40 minutes. I don't know about anime though. I have no idea how that would work.
Yeah, but then like you are like breaking chronology in a sense. Like you are like, if you think about that too much, it does like break like the artifice of everything.
Yeah, but people don't think about it that much.
Yeah, well, people don't think about anything illegal, but that's not the point. It's just fascinating that things do this. There must be like a video essay on this somewhere. No, there's probably 15 video essays about stupid Mushoku Tensei being about redemption, and nobody's tackling the real goddamn issues, EliteAri.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, man.
So how do I even research this, EliteAri? Why does a show do the thing where it starts the episode with a different... Google's not going to
just do like
ChatGPT could do that.
The miscellaneous beginning shot or something. Make a video about
it. The miscellaneous insert recap difference.
Yep.
That's my next video, okay? But anyway, great point from me to bring that up. We're all having a funny moment where we all recognize that, but we've never really thought about it formally, and now we have. Genius. Call back to Balalaika on the bonnet, but it's with Chang this time. Oh my god, EliteAri. Should we just end the fucking video? We've already gone over all these goddamn notes. The first Balalaika sighting is 5 minutes into episode 2 when they're talking about them all having a mob meeting, which is also similar to what they did when the twins happened, so that's another reference to old Black Lagoon. Maybe our final Rock Roanapa monologue, when he's monologuing about this city, bad thing, was in this episode where it's like, city is criminals all over the world. Now, every time I bring this up, EliteAri, he's like, I don't even remember a single speech.
No, I remember. In season 2 as well, I also remember it. Because in season 1, you're like, at the beginning of every arc, he like says it. I'm like, oh, I should pay attention.
Beginning of every fucking episode in season 1, he does it.
Yeah.
But anyway. It was cool because also at the beginning, when we were going to Roanapa, we got the establishing shots, but like, it's clear that in the first 2 seasons, they were like reusing the same shot. But this time it was drawn a little different, and it was at sunset rather than at night, and the Buddha was like shot at a wider distance.
You know what? I still don't remember. I didn't see any of these establishing shots for some reason. Every time you bring it up, the Buddha or whatever, and I'm like, I just never, for some reason.
Well, EliteAri, it is the one, not of the Buddha, but of the city at night, the long shot of the city, is the background image for the entirety of like the first 4 Black Lagoon.
Oh, perfect. So I'll make sure
you'll be familiar with it by then. The Buddha's probably in there somewhere because I have like a screenshot for every fucking 5 seconds of this goddamn show. I wonder if you're just gonna drop that first series altogether, EliteAri. I don't know if you can take it. You know, 3 hours of fucking Black Lagoon recap. Have fun. Maybe there's genius in there. I haven't rewatched. I rewatched the first part a few times, but the rest of it, no, thank you. Rock transforms into light Yagami, bro. Italians won't get involved, but the Colombians will. First big Colombian arc, true. We've had like, we've got 4 big mobs in Roanapa, EliteAri. We got the Italians, which we saw in the twins arc a little bit. There's a new guy. I thought the new guy was really cool. I think I have a note about him now. He speaks funny. The old Italian dude spoke funny too, but this guy was kind of clever. He was making me laugh.
I don't even remember this guy.
Them? Huh? You don't remember the new Italian guy?
I did notice that when they all sat down, I was like, one of these people must be new because the guy did die last season, but I don't remember.
He said, this fucking Ivan bitch, and he talks like this, EliteAri. That was almost good for the first like few syllables, then I lost it, but that was a good impression. It didn't really jog your mind. Anyway, we've got the Italians. I'm saying it like that guy in that one Quentin Tarantino movie with the dog you don't like. Now, then there's Hotel Moscow, EliteAri, you remember them. Yep. And then there's the Triad. And then, of course, EliteAri. Oh, and these guys have all arcs, and this is kind of a Chang arc too. But the Colombians, they're in this arc, EliteAri. They were kind of in the Roberta episodes because they're from South America too. But also, we don't really get a lot with the main Colombian dude, who is still the same main Colombian dude that's been in the whole show. Because they call in FARC, or whatever the fuck they're called, some other troop thing that they're associated with somehow, you know, geopolitics and stuff. And that guy wants to fuck Roberta. And then he got fucked. EliteAri, that was a great reference. Remember the first episode of Black Lagoon? Actually, it's the second episode when they blow up the dude in the
Oh,
chopper
yep.
with the missile.
Classic.
And he
Yep.
goes, "You got fucked." Rock's so fucking lame. I hate this fucking moron. He's lucky Rebby's in this goddamn show.
Mhm.
Anyway. This better be all the factions that are based in Roanapa or else. Oh, I think this is what Rock says, but he's forgetting the CIA, and it's like dramatic irony. They did this in the second episode like 100 times, where it's like, oh, and then right after he says this, Illyri, they cut to Etta. She's so cool, brother.
Yep.
I'm just, I'm a genius. And she's playing cards with Revy again. Again, another reference to the old show,
But this is the first one where it's like ominous. It's like, oh, is she spying on Revy here? Like, oh, she's getting information about Roberta. Oh my god.
Your little coincidence.
Yeah.
But also remember how we figured out that they fucked up the order of the arcs last time? So there was a scene at the end of last season which was actually the same scene as the thing from the beginning of the Greenback Jane arc, but actually should have been that scene because that should have led into Greenback Jane, but they switched up the order. You remember later.
Yep.
She says, "Full house, you slut," and I wrote it in quotes because it was funny. You always bet without thinking when Rock's done something. Oh my god, EliteAri. More teasing. Etta does find out. Oh, and it's kind of funny because maybe this is like, because it's playing into the thing you were just talking about now how we know certain things about Etta, so we're like curious about her. And then Revy starts expositing about how the NSA guys are in town or something, and Etta does she gets serious all of a sudden, and her tone changes, and it's like, shouldn't she already know about this a little bit? But I guess it's okay. That she finds out here. Anyway, it's really cool. Etta does find
That'd
out
be an
about
interesting scene when Revy finds out about her. I wonder what would happen.
I've got a scene in my head, EliteAri. Revy and Rock have another fight. Rock fucks Etta, EliteAri. First of all, great drama. But then, shut up. He's not a self-insert, EliteAri. This is not fan service. Now, and then in the bed talk or something afterwards, the post-coitus chat, she would drop like that she's CIA to dramatically do it, and Rock's eyes would get buggy, and she would just like walk out or something.
And he'd be like, and
he'd figure it all out, and it'd be like crazy. I don't know. That's in my brain, EliteAri, but that would be crazy. The Etta one. Oh my god, they're gonna turn on each other, EliteAri. My heart's gonna break. The greatest duo in fiction, torn asunder by the American government. Oh my god, America bad. Oh my god, there's so many things that could happen in Black Lagoon, EliteAri. I've literally, these characters have been in my brain for 10 years, EliteAri. I've never considered what could happen next. Oh my god, I gotta read this goddamn manga. What if Edda's just not in the next arc? That's entirely possible too. I'd be so sad.
Yep.
But there's 2 arcs, EliteAri, to read, and I don't know anything about this. The next one's called Wild Cards or something. Anyway. The demeanor changed, and we see her eyes, EliteAri. True, her sunglasses go transparent again when she starts getting serious here. I'm gonna come. Why did the soldiers come here in the first place? Is I think a question I'm asking myself because I'm trying to remember what the fuck the plot of this goddamn thing is. But they're here to arrest the Triad dude, EliteAri. It's easy. And then we got this great.
Who were they trying to arrest?
The Triad dude. Oh, the drug guy.
Oh, the triangle, the golden triangle guy. Is that what you're talking about? Okay. Oh my god. Okay. The Triad is different, right?
Well, he works. He supplies drugs to the Triad.
Okay. Whew. All right, wait, let's keep going.
So he's a Triad contact or something. I don't know.
Okay.
EliteAri, greatest scene in the show, bows at a pool with his bitches.
That was pretty funny.
Because there's a whorehouse upstairs, you'll remember, EliteAri, and obviously it got blown up too. And where are these girls going to go?
Yep.
And it's a great scene. Oh, I think I wrote it down here. Fabiola and Garcia are blushing too, bro. But Fabiola's blushing for 2 reasons. Because Garcia doesn't know at this point that Fabiola is a super assassin.
Yeah.
And he's like finding out about it for the first time, so she's really doing that. But also there's titties everywhere, EliteAri, and Garcia blushing because he's titties because he's a little older, EliteAri, and he's gonna make out with the girl at the end of this. We're not talking about it yet, EliteAri.
Yep. But then they're all like playing with Garcia in the background. They're like teasing him.
Yes, and Benny, but Benny's just scratching his head because
oh my god, Benny's in this season, crazy. He had like a few scenes and they were actually really good.
Yes, it's all in this episode, EliteAri. We'll get to it. Oh, and then we see the flashback. Roberta's chugging pills and drinking alcohol. What a juxtaposition to the last time, EliteAri. Remember when she came into the bar and she wanted water or milk or something? And Bao said, "Does this look like a fucking restaurant to you?" Or something he says. It's really funny. Bao's like the best voice actor. He swears really good. So great. Oh my god, I literally said that right here. Bao's so funny. Great voice actor. R.I.P. Why did I say R.I.P.? He's not dead. Okay. I think it was just probably because like this is his last scene, maybe. He says, "Do I look fucking suicidal?" I'm getting good with these impressions, EliteAri, at least at the beginning. And then I lose them, but I'm working on them. And then everybody is commenting on the Lovebirds EliteAri because Revi isn't there with him. It's Benny instead. And Bao makes a comment, and I think another like incidental character Eda makes a comment about how they're apart. So it's like more like, oh my god, they're so together all the time, EliteAri. They're just in love. Well, this rock idiot isn't. Do you think it's some asexual protagonist shit, EliteAri? Because he's not trying to fuck anybody. He's trying. Maybe this Chinese girl. I bet this Chinese girl kisses him, EliteAri. He doesn't kiss her.
There was the one scene in this season, which I might have been in this episode, where Revi is like working out when she's like doing sit-ups on the bed or whatever, and he's like looking at her.
Comes out of the shower.
No, even I think it's even before the shower. Oh no, maybe it is after the shower.
No, it is after.
Yeah, it is. And then that's right. Yeah.
I have notes on that, so we'll talk about that.
All right.
But it is like everybody thinks they're together, but they don't seem to be, and like they're making jokes about it. I guess it's a thing that happens in real life, right? When like you're in like grade 6 and this girl and guy are hanging out together, but they haven't admitted that they liked each other yet, so they'll blush if you bring it up, but everybody brings it up around them to make fun of them to try and seem cool.
Yeah.
I've been in this situation before, EliteAri. But making fun of, I didn't have any grade 6 girlfriends, EliteAri. You go, I gotta qualify this stuff. I was so scared, EliteAri. There was nothing scarier to me in my life. I feel like everybody was like this. Like your friends, you're just in a situation and it's that one school day where one of your prick friends decides to like make up that you like a girl and you freak out, EliteAri. You want to kill somebody. Yeah. And she's like, I'm going to go tell her. And then like you run over to get between them, but try not to make a scene, EliteAri. Oh, you got to kill somebody on those days. Well, the worst days of your life. You used to dread those days, EliteAri. And then one day it would just be happening. And you're like, what the fuck am I going to do now? I literally can't do anything. I'm not going to beat up my friend to stop him. That's a little overdramatic. I can't run to this girl. I don't talk to this girl. This would be crazy. I can't just go speak to her. And then if I run over to speak to her, he's going to be behind me walking this way and he's going to make a comment and it's going to be even more embarrassing. Oh my goodness, EliteAri. I'm fucking freaking out over here. PTSD. That's a common thing in Black Lagoon. They're just like me for real.
You should be more like Rock and just not care.
True, he's an oblivious, asexual anime protagonist, just like Luffy and Naruto and the whole gang. And who do we always complain about in something else, EliteAri?
Denji.
No.
I don't know.
That's what I thought of too, by the way. What else did we watch?
I mean, a lot of stuff. Mushoku Tensei.
No, this rudiest idiot wants to fuck everybody too.
I don't know. It could be anything. There's
what
so many
do we
things.
watch, EliteAri? We don't watch
so many things.
Oh, Eren Yeager, you idiot.
Oh, of course.
Obvious.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on. Lovebirds apart. I do get like the weird little like that same schoolyard feeling, EliteAri, when they're talking about Rock and Revi being lovebirds. I'm like, oh really? Ooh, give me the gossip queen. I just want it. We got Fabiola backstory, EliteAri. We're moving on. Her and Garcia are blushing at each other, bro.
She's homeless.
Oh yeah. Well, kinda. Yeah, true. I guess.
She's poor.
Yeah. So are we shipping these two, EliteAri? Why does he kiss Roberta? We're not up to it.
Yeah, obviously we're shipping those. That's the whole point. That's why they have the scene where they're swimming together.
Garcia's got a wife, and it ain't Fabiola, okay?
I don't think
she's
so.
She's 30, and she's missing an arm. Anyway.
Okay.
Benny rushes off and doesn't want to get more attached because he doesn't want to be Rock. And then he literally says, EliteAri, he says, Rock, can you carry that weight?
Did he? I think he did. And I'm mixing it up with at the end. Like when
ironically 100% does the Cowboy Bebop meme. And now I'm like, glass reflection, so smart. Bro, this hadn't even come out when he did that. And also they're doing the bang thing at the end of the episode.
Yeah, that's what
again,
I was thinking of. Yeah.
Kill yourself, Black Lagoon. You're better than this shit series.
He did say carry that weight. It's coming back to me. I do remember that now. Damn.
But in Cowboy Bebop, can you carry that weight is like way cooler than the way it's meant in this scene. Like, can you carry that weight is like at Lamau, these characters are kind of fucked with you and we're taunting you about that. That's like retarded that you're worrying about these characters, but you are. This is just like actual in-universe. The Cowboy Bebop thing is meta and this isn't.
Yep.
But I guess it's about carrying weight, brother.
Well, it's only meta for people who like relate to Rock, and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm just like Rock." So he's carrying the weight. Yes. I'm carrying the weight. Crazy. Not rape. I thought it just sounded like I said rape. I said weight. Okay, sorry.
I didn't think that, but EliteAri probably did say that. You know. What was I going to say about something before you brought up rape, EliteAri, you weirdo?
I don't know.
Oh, this is the Benny stuff, right, EliteAri? He does it like again. He doesn't
was
want to
in
be
it.
like Rock. He just kind of buries his head into the sand.
Yeah.
This has been the same thing with like he said this about the twins.
Was he
Consistent
wearing the Hawaiian
characterization,
shirt? I
EliteAri.
don't remember. Probably, right?
Yes,
Yep.
he's always wearing the Hawaiian
He's
shirt 'cause he
obsessed
got
with
beaten
Revy.
down.
Crazy.
No, he was coerced to him, and then she seemingly maybe lost interest in him. EliteAri is that? Well, my goodness, and Rock is just defiant, and that's why he's so sexy.
That's why Benny hates Rock in this moment.
Well, he's just a little pissy, you know. Benny does his own thing. He's got his own girlfriend.
Yeah, don't touch his stuff.
Don't touch his stuff, lady. Yes, that was pretty funny.
Oh, we're gonna forget. I don't. Maybe we won't forget the Dutch thing he says in that scene is so funny. You know when he he yells and then he apologizes immediately. He's like, "Sorry,
I'm sorry, I said that. This place gets to me." Because they're on the Vietnam River thing, EliteAri. That he used to go up and down.
He's apparently fake
backstory.
That's
in Apocalypse Now. Yeah. That is funny, EliteAri, where it's like he's a fake veteran or something, and he's faking for clout. I don't know what the actual situation is. Yolanda, EliteAri, old lady from the ripoff church, you remember, is caught up on the actual situation by Etta, who figured it out, apparently. The NSA likes to blow things up, whereas the CIA likes to do economy stuff, bro.
Yep.
They have to compete with themselves. We talked about all this already. Mob boss meeting. The Italian guy is funny, true. Chang calls the Americans terrorists, which I thought was funny, Lamau. Americans can't be terrorists, EliteAri. They're white. Balalaika wants to fuck up some Americans because of her pride. Well, we already talked about that. Roberta's having hallucinations about an innocent guy she killed one time. Yeah. EliteAri, it's a little, you know, on the nose, a little weak, maybe, this little thingy.
Let me think. It's
okay, whatever.
It is interesting that when I got to the end of the show, they were putting a lot of importance on this Roberta thing, and I had no idea what was going on when the random family showed up. So maybe it is a little underdone in this show. They made it a bit too subtle, is what I would say. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe they could have seeded it a bit earlier. Maybe in the flashbacks we got with Roberta in this season, or maybe even the first time we saw her last season, give it a line or two to make it a bit more fleshed out. I don't know, but I don't know. It works well by the end of it, I think, if you understand it.
Yeah, it's like her method. It's like her original like evil sin, and she's gonna repent for it at the end, and that's how she's actually gonna get better or whatever. I understand that part.
Yeah, you're saying it's a bit simple, like a bit like it's been done. Yeah,
it's a bit like, oh, she killed an innocent guy.
So what you're saying, Kyle, it's a classic tale as old as time that always universally resonates with people when they see it. So I agree.
Generic EliteAri, that's the word you were about to say. It's also funny that they mentioned that she killed 2 like innocent engineer guys, but it's just this one guy that shows up. That's kind of funny.
Yeah. Maybe the other guy was bad. Maybe he didn't have a family. Maybe he was just alone.
It also seems insane that like this is the only innocent person she's like the people she's killed.
Well, I think the implication is it's the first innocent person, right? Like before that, she might have just been. It might have been. I think it has to be the first person because she like kept the photo, right? Oh no, she tore it up. She tore up the photo.
Well, yeah, it seems like the guy says like, "Oh yeah, you like mocked me and then tore up my family photo and then fucking shot me." Like, really?
Did he say that?
Shit.
Oh
yeah, I think so. Like, you tore up my family photo and yeah.
Oh, maybe they were helping out the opposite? Enemy. I don't know. I had a strong feeling where I'm like, oh, clearly this was like her first mission, but maybe it's not based on anything. Or maybe when I heard him say that, I was like, oh, this is like her internal conscience, like mocking her, when in reality she didn't do that.
Maybe,
because was the photo at the end? No, there was no photo at the end. No, there was a photo at the end. Was that torn up?
There was a photo, but it was the family.
Like, well, that was the implication, right?
What do you mean?
That she tore up the family photo.
But yeah, like he had it at work, right? And they were probably at home, and they have the photo at home, so they brought the photo with them.
You think obviously there were 2 copies of the photo?
Well, I don't know if it's the exact same photo.
I think it'd be really cool if she actually didn't tear up the photo, and it's a little bit of subtle storytelling about how she's being too harsh on herself in that moment. Maybe.
Maybe I don't think so though. I think the photo at the end is just like to identify them, to be like, oh, she's repenting here.
All right, but, if you say so.
Yeah, ruining the cool speculation with the stupid, what do you call it, mechanics of storytelling. Ruining all the fun. What are you saying? something else to say about the genericism of this general approach. But I don't remember really.
You're just saying Black Lagoon. You know what? It's not as good as you thought it was, and that's okay, Kyle.
You know, it's a sad day. Fucking hallucinations and shit, and she's going fucking crazy, and he looks like Rock and two Japanese guys. Oh, EliteAri, there's no way like in some crossfire when she's trying to revolutionize the fucking country or some shit, she didn't shoot like a civilian or something. I don't know.
But they didn't have a family with a photograph, so she didn't internalize it.
That's true.
The photo's important.
I suppose if you killed a bunch of people, there is probably one you would remember more, right? But I would know.
Yeah,
I don't kill
yeah, exactly.
like
Has the author ever killed anyone? Why would they put this in the story? If
True.
What a ridiculous thing. Am I
now
right?
that's another video essay topic that people should be actually talking about.
Yeah.
Revy workout and shower scene ! One of the few Rock and
goodness.
Revy scenes in the OVA !
EliteAri,
they referenced a song in this scene. EliteAri, you're very familiar with the song, right?
They referenced the song.
Revy mumbles a song and then says, "Haven't you heard it? It's a classic by The Doors."
I don't remember. I was busy.
Come
Is this
on,
when
baby,
she's
light
working
my
out?
fire. No, it's when she's in the shower right after she works out.
I don't remember. What a shame.
She turns the shower off and she says, "Come on, baby, light my fire."
Is that like a reference to the first opening or something? I don't know.
No, it's just a super famous song that I'm making fun of you for not knowing.
Oh,
EliteAri,
okay, sorry.
Idiot.
Yeah, I don't know anything about
The Doors, EliteAri, you ever heard of them?
No.
The guy died, and they only made like 4 albums or something in the 70s.
It's a shame.
They sing a song at the beginning of Apocalypse Now too. This is the end. You know that song?
No.
God, it's so
but cool. It's okay. We can bring them back using AI, right? We'll clone their voices, put a prompt right out.
True, EliteAri, true. Why has he always got to bring it up, Chad? It's just insensitive, frankly. EliteAri, you're gonna listen to the song afterwards. It's sick, brother. Anyway, The Doors are super cool. And this is another just sick reference. This is when the hobbyist thing is brought up again, where Rock is like, "It's my hobby to save people," which is more interesting. It ties into things we've kind of already talked about, where it's like, does he really want to save people? Is he just trying to piss Chang off because Chang pissed him off? Is it just something he does because it's like fun? I don't know. He's a little crazy, this Rock. He's a little complicated, EliteAri. You like this show now, EliteAri? You believe it?
I do like it, and I do like Rock and Revy and
so
Roberta.
You got to agree that he's super
else.
complicated and genius.
I don't think a character has to be complicated to be interesting, but he also probably is. He is. I don't know if he's complicated. He might just be.
This fucking idiot is
opaque.
Complicated. Revy's the cool, complicated one.
Yeah.
Wait, what did you say? He's a what?
He might be opaque. Like you can't see through him. He doesn't say too much to be able to infer what's going on inside him.
Yeah, especially for a protagonist here, he's a very
It is crazy. He is the protagonist, isn't he? For the first 2 seasons, I was like, yeah, obviously Revy is the protagonist, but Rock is like, yeah, Rock is probably the protagonist. Yeah.
I love you for that, EliteAri. She's a deuteragonist. We'll try to make that argument on those videos again. Obviously stupid. But anyway, oh my god, EliteAri, this brings me to another manga rumor thingy that I've heard said in YouTube comments and YouTube videos. You know, apparently Rock didn't exist in like the draft or something, and he was invented so that the Japanese readership would have a better like audience pull or whatever. Crazy.
Fantastic.
So Revy really is the main character or something. But anyway. Also, he's like the whole conceit of the show, right? You drop a morally good guy in the evil city and see what he does. Like, what is Black Lagoon without him?
Well, the Black Lagoon would probably Jesus Christ. Black Lagoon would probably be a bunch of small arcs where the characters inside the arc would be the fish out of water, like Garcia or something.
Yeah, or it would just not be a fish out of water story, right? It would just be like Revy and the gang.
Yeah.
I don't even know if Revy existed in the early whatever nonsense this rumor comes out of, but maybe. Revy admits that she looks like a fucking idiot for tagging along with him everywhere, but she's gonna do it anyway. There is Revy like keeps, and this is happening in Japan too, where she keeps going like, she keeps like kind of soft admitting things to Rock, and Rock never reacts like in a good way. Fuck, the fact that I'm almost convincing myself it is like the stupid asexual thing, like he doesn't notice. But I kind of hate that. And he's smarter than that, EliteAri. This isn't no Eren Yeager situation. We're better than that, you know?
I think it all comes down to when he's looking at her outside the shower. That's like the one piece of evidence.
No, but that's worse because he does this thing where he blinks a bunch when that happens, like he's like, what's happening now? It's like the meme where like, oh, the main character realizes the girl he's been hanging out with is hot all of a sudden. And it's like, come on, retard.
Or
like,
it could be.
This
so
is the most
no.
descriptively unreal thing in the world, EliteAri. Imagine being at work and there's a hot girl
and
that
you
you work
suddenly
with,
realize that they're hot after like 2 months or something.
and not like doing it immediately, being like, oh my god, this fucking bitch is the one that I like at the store. I'm gonna marry this one.
Yeah.
Like, for Rock not to have any is crazy.
No,
you know,
no,
moments where somebody suddenly becomes more attractive, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's never like, oh my god, Revi's got a butt, bro, and I want to touch it. Like he's blinking, like in this scene. But also, I love this scene.
Well, it is that she is also facing away, so he can truly express his emotions without her seeing him. That could be a thing. Where it's like, oh my god, he's blinking because now he has the chance to look at her. But it's also, she's
clearly like teasing him, right, in this scene. Like she knows what she's doing, EliteAri, these women.
Does she?
I think so. I think it's because what he says here. Let me finish my notes, EliteAri,
Go ahead,
before we discuss the pinnacle scene in this fucking OVA series. We just saw Revi's tit and we just breezed over it. I was begging EliteAri.
We got the Roberta one as well. Crazy. That was, I couldn't believe it.
Nobody cares about Roberta. We like Revi here. Where's the edit scene? Oh, my goodness. She doesn't have showers. Actually, she brings up showers when Roberta doesn't have a shower later. Oh my god, that seems cool. We'll get to it eventually, EliteAri. What the fuck was I saying? Oh, I was recapping. So, Revi does this thing. It's like, man, I just look stupid following you around and doing what you say because I'm in love with you, idiot, all the time, but I didn't say that last part. And Rock just says, I appreciate that in a very monotone tone. And you're like, somebody's going to hit this fucking idiot. And again, it's like, Revi's like fishing because she doesn't want to make the first move. This is also what the whole Rock and Revi videos are about, EliteAri. You know, Revi's just like me for real, for real. She just wants to hint and make fun of him until she likes him, but she's never going to like him, just like Black Lagoon Girl's never going to like me, EliteAri.
It's a shame.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to spoil this goddamn video. And he keeps fucking it up. Revi says she needs something out of this arrangement. Oh yeah, she does say that, where she's like, what am I getting out of this? Like, because the implication, if you're watching this, EliteAri, the answer is probably no, because you know the structure of the series kind of, and you wouldn't expect her to pull a Fujimoto. But did you think at any point they were going to have sex in this scene?
I was expecting maybe more explicit, like she's literally standing naked in front of him and he like freaks out or something. I was expecting kind of that to happen because she did walk out of the shower, but not sex. I don't think. Probably not.
Yeah, because I feel like at no point when I was watching this scene, like the first time, was I like, oh, this is the scene where it's gonna happen. But when Revi says this line where she's like, I need something out of this arrangement, like that's kind of like the perfect lead up scene for like a typical sex scene. It's like, oh, you do this for me, I'll do this for you. Not in a prostitution sense, but in like we're admitting that we like each other sense. It's also not the end of the series, which I think is probably when we get this. Or maybe it's already happened earlier. No, I definitely would have heard about it if it already happened. So we got 2 more arcs of sticking around.
Wouldn't it be so cool if they just have sex off screen and they reference it one time? That'd be so much cooler.
It could be cool, yeah.
Or like even maybe the final reveal at the end of the final arc, all the way at the end of Black Lagoon. Someone makes a joke about them. Oh, you two are gonna have sex, or it's like, oh, you two a thing or whatever. And then they're like, what do you mean? We've been having sex for months or something. And I'm like, oh my god, that'd be sick.
There have been moments that would contradict that seemingly, but
yeah. Well, later on in the manga.
Oh my god, EliteAri had a great point. I was thinking about it, and then you distracted me.
Rock, Revi, Roberta, sex, shower, working out, backside, front side. What if?
Revi says she needs something out of this arrangement. Fucking hell, EliteAri, I'm an idiot. It was important, bro. I just wrote here, she wants a kiss, bro, in an exclamation mark. Fuck, I guess we just gotta move on, because I can't fucking think of it. Revi is the gun and Rock is the bullet, which is kind of funny because you might even expect the metaphor to be the other way around, but it's like Revi fired Rock by kidnapping him the first time, and now he's here, I guess. And then there's this monologue about how like silver bullets kill monsters, but if you miss with the silver bullet, then you have nothing that can kill the monster and you're fucked. I do think this scene is of her teasing him now. Because, like, she says, I need something out of this arrangement. He doesn't say anything. Then she's like, how about this ass, bro? And he's doing the I'm just realizing thing. It's a little stupid, but anyway. And then also she's like, oh, after she's like done, she's like made the impression, and she's like, now go and fetch me some water. And he's like, okay. And then like she doesn't actually want the water, and as that she's like, hurry up, we're leaving. And he's like, what about your water? And it's like, this fucking Rocket Idiot isn't an asexual dumb anime protagonist. He doesn't understand shit.
I need to
Rock
rewatch
does the
this scene.
blinking
I'll
thing.
rewatch it
I wrote
afterwards.
down. Rewatch the whole show, EliteAri pussy, and give it all a
True.
10. I never noticed until now. Oh, I'm saying I've never noticed in now moments are retarded. Oh, and then when she's out of shot, Revy just goes, damn it, it's not fair. She just
What
wants
is she saying that about?
Well, it's after he leaves, and she's like, I think general, like, obviously there's two meanings. It could be the, damn it, he's not kissing me. What the hell's going on right now?
Mm-hmm.
And there's also the, like, oh, I'm just following him into another dangerous situation.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why do I feel this way? I gotta protect him type thing.
Mm-hmm.
As brothers, you know, we're not in love, we're just friends.
Yep.
But then she's ready to go. It's like she's like, fuck it. And then she goes to leave and stuff. But anyway, we were going to talk about something at the end. Did we talk about it while we were talking about it? Because I forgot.
Talk about what at the end?
Well, I was like, let me get through my notes before we talk about it. But I don't remember what that was.
I think it was about the Rock blushing scene. Not blushing, but like...
Yeah, and the teasing thing. She was teasing him, bro. She was like, how about you make a move now?
Maybe.
She doesn't want to do it later. She's a big
But I do remember a similar scene to this. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, where she was like in her underwear or something. Yeah.
Well, no, you're confusing two separate scenes. There's one in season 1 where she wakes him up by going into her room, and her room's a mess. And he like opens up the blinds, and his tie dangles in her face, EliteAri. No, but she is not. I don't think she's. Oh, maybe she is bottomless, EliteAri. Well, I guess that's not she's in her underwear, EliteAri. Maybe she is. But there's also another scene at the beginning of the Greenback Jane when she wakes up and she's like shot her room up or something. And I feel like
maybe also that. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe in one of them she's got pants on, and one of them. But anyway, whatever. Fabiola sneaks to go for a swim, and Revy makes fun of her. Very cute, EliteAri. We already talked about that. Etta calls Chang to tell him he's a punk ass bitch. Also, the definitive reveal.
The CIA thing, right? Happened? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool. I like that scene where Chang, like, you know what I like? Chang showed up on time, and he's like, that's like one of my virtues. And I'm like, hell yeah, we love him.
And he's also in a little confession box. It's cool.
Yep.
Also, the definitive reveal that Chang is only allowed to run Rawanipa because Etta allows it. NSA is after a triad drug guy. Hydra metaphor is introduced here. We have no equals in the world. We are the highest authority there is.
Hell yeah.
And she's the church girl, EliteAri. That's so cool. She doesn't actually believe in God. That's bullshit. America is the real God. Yep. Crazy because they're so powerful and they're like cruel like a god too sometimes. Yeah, they're like, and it's like scary and stuff, just like God. God's bad. Anyway, this is the coolest scene in anime history I've written down. Now we're moving on to episode 27.
I guess Chang gets angry here. I don't think we've ever seen him angry.
He throws the phone down because he's like, because he starts doing, why would I do that? And Etta starts laughing at him and says, you're a little pussy.
Yeah, you're pathetic. You have no power. Oh my god. We love it.
Yeah. Also, EliteAri, I got a battery warning, but not the second battery warning. So maybe we'll make it, maybe we won't. We probably won't.
We're almost halfway. Yeah.
So, well, we're more than halfway. This fucking recap shit isn't going to go on for too long. You know, this next one is way shorter. You know, not every episode has Revy showing off her ass scene. You know, actually, every episode does. EliteAri, you seen those shorts? Anyway, episode 27, Angels in the Crosshairs. Oh my god, that's like Garcia and stuff. Piggy reference with the Revy threatening Leroy at the beginning. Oh yeah, so there's this dude that's like hiding Roberta, and it's a reference to when Revy was going crazy on the boat, remember? And she's like, I'm gonna kill this little piggy or something, she says, and then she goes oink oink. Remember when she's like becoming a school shooter, EliteAri?
I do remember the school shooter. I don't remember the oink
oink.
The
framing of this shot is exactly. Hold on, what did you say?
I don't remember the oink oink, but I remember the school shooter scene.
Well, she says that, and then it cuts away, and you hear the gunshots. But she actually shot him in the leg. It's okay. They did the exact same like framing of the shot, and she did some piggy reference as well, like here. So another reference to the original show. It's crazy. I wrote him down, EliteAri. Chinglish and her family are at home playing video games. She just got out of the shower, but no Chinglish shower scene. She's not happy with Revy from last time, but they make up really quick. Oh my god, continuity, EliteAri, and it was so cute. Did you see them together playing video games?
Yeah, I liked it. They're all alive and happy, to my surprise.
Cool sounding guns, super cool action, bro. So when these Americans are shooting with these suppressors in their hotel room, it sounds really weird and cool. EliteAri, did you remember this?
I think I remember the first time they shot outside the door. It was like suppressed on the inside, but when you hear it on the outside, it was like louder or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, it was something, and it made like a weird noise. I thought that was cool.
Yeah,
probably what it actually sounds like, and Black Lagoon did its research, EliteAri, because it's just such a great show.
Yep.
Confrontation between Revy and Fabiola over dying soldier. Chinglish wants the morality lesson to be over, which is what Revy said in the submarine. Oh my god, it's kind of like that scene. Crazy. That was kind of a big scene. That's the only note I have on it, though. So if you have something to say about it, EliteAri, speak up now.
You know, that submarine scene, it never stood out to me. I never really quite got the appeal of it, but yep, I don't know.
It's I guess we could should we save it for later? There's like
say it now.
I guess it is. It's the Revy is like Revy's never been a good person. Like she was.
Well, the ending tells us that every episode. She's at the beach.
Kinda.
She's never coming back from her childhood upbringing. In the same way that Roberta's never coming back when we get that one shot of her at the beach. And just like when that kid dies and they're on the beach forever.
Yeah, the beach is like they're nearly too far gone, gonna be dead thing. But then Revy turns around, but she's angry. Because the submarine speech is just like Revy's like nihilistic worldview that comes out whenever she like has to question anything or something doesn't go away and she's throwing a temper tantrum, which is what she's doing on the submarine scene. And she does it later at the end where she's like Fabiola is like destroying her with facts and logic. Great scene. And she's like, well, you're made and those Americans same. We just kill people and we love money and shit like that. She just sort of reverts to this whenever she gets called out. And it's sort of like her little like, might makes right is what I default to when my feelings get hurt, so I can be mean to people and not think about it or grow at all. There is a sense, I think especially the Rock and Revy relationship is like this, and I guess Roanapa is kind of like this too, where it feels like at the end of every arc or season, it sort of has a return to normalcy, where it's like, not much has actually changed. Like, Revy and Rock are still will they, won't they? Which is probably going to be a thing for the whole series. And Roanapa is still like, Chang and Balalaika are still here, and Rock's trying to do a thing, but nothing too much has changed. I don't know if we're doing the you can't actually grow as a person thing, like we're madmen or something. But it's interesting, because, I don't know, I'm trying to explain the submarine scene to your low IQ brain, EliteAri.
I think part of the issue is it was so long ago, I don't remember the details. But,
oh my god, there's a video you can watch on YouTube called Revy Speech, EliteAri. It was for a school project. That bloke got lots of views. Anyway. It's bullshit, EliteAri. She's just lying because her feelings got hurt. Anyway, and that's this here where she's like, I don't have to look after a fucking soldier. But Fabiola is not so far gone. She's like, we should have taken him to a doctor. We promise. You shouldn't lie, etc., etc. So she's a morally virtuous young lady, and this will conflict with Revy. Rock needs another factor and another player to come out of the shadows. Chang calls him to taunt him. Japan was Balalaika's arc. Blood Trail is Chang's. I already said that, idiot.
Wait, I don't know what you just said there. You said something.
Japan was Balalaika's arc. Blood Trail is Chang.
Okay, yep.
Idiot.
Very true.
Chang used to be a policeman. Another great observation there. It seems that everybody used to believe in something and are now dead. I already figured out this point and I've said it. That's more the living dead thing. It's super obvious theme that just went over my head for 6 videos or whatever. I already did all these monologues. We're going crazy with the blood splurts. We were, EliteAri. These fucking Colombian idiots with the masks on, just blood everywhere whenever they got cut or shot. It was sick.
Wait, did we go over the, I don't know, maybe it comes later, but Chang, when he like, Rock calls him a piece of shit and he goes, ah! And he laughs, and I'm like,
yeah, and he laughs. Nobody's talked to me like that in forever.
It was cool, awesome, man.
It is like the Carbonate scene where he like stands up to the big bad mob. He's gonna destroy them with his intellect. I've said the facts and logic thing too many times, EliteAri, right? I had to change it up. And then I have a fucking scene Oh, it's the
Oh
fucking
my
scene.
goodness.
I was like bragging about it, but we
What a
already kind of talked
scene.
about this too.
No, it's just we
Garcia
got to talk
freaks
more
out.
about it. What a scene. My God.
Okay,
Go.
let me give you that fucking note
Yeah.
then. Garcia freaks out, and then Roberta freaks out, and then we get the reveal that the backstory of her killing 2 rocks, Lamau. She's gonna kill Garcia, bro. The Americans save Garcia. Go ahead, EliteAri. Sweet
I
out of your
mean,
favorite
I've already
scene of
said
all
how
time.
fantastic it is, but I guess I didn't mention. It's what a subversion that this one guy comes out of nowhere and beats her up and wins. Crazy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way she's
They
gonna kill him
don't
quickly.
even like give her an out of like she was just wanted to seduce him to torture
Yeah.
him even more.
She just
Like she does just get beat. Like she just gets punched and then kicked one time, and they do write it off like, oh, he's from like the same battalion, and
which makes sense, I
you're
guess.
a
You know?
move,
Yeah.
bloodhound.
I think it's
And
a
then
good
he's gotta-
excuse to make him like, because obviously she probably is the best of the best, but you know, someone who trained her could beat her, or someone who was aware of how she was trained. Anyway, it's just great. You know, I've said it a million times in this thing, but what a great scene. The voice acting. I know you didn't pick up on it, Kyle. You got to back and listen to it. It's so great when she changes back to her maid voice or maid accent. I guess is more like it. It's just
the maid
great.
accent. We love it.
Yep.
Was this the second coming of Griffith and Charlotte to you, Elite, or are you like, oh my god, this is so sexy, bro? And they're like licking
I mean,
each
it
other's
was
tongues.
it was definitely a good scene. Which is very rare when it comes to these scenes because I you know I never like him except for the Griffith Charlotte thing.
The movement
I would say
when
this is a
she
positive
spreads her legs, Elite, and then encloses on him, as we'll
Mhm.
call it, is crazy. I don't know. I remembered
I
that
love it.
since my 13th birthday, Elite. I've remembered that scene. It was pretty cool back then, Elite. You know, I don't know if I'd seen anything like that before. It was crazy. Anyway.
Yep. It was great. Love
Episode
it.
28,
Wait,
we're already on, Elite. Unless
Wait,
you got more.
I have 2 quotes here, which you already said before when I first brought this up. She said, "Don't look at me," and "Oh my god, what have I done?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, you're so right." Crazy.
I feel like, I don't know, this scene, like, I guess the scene setup is a little like seen it before. It's also, it is like literally
I've seen
the
this a
Ava
million
scene.
times, yeah, where like the
Yeah.
innocent person comes in and they see the good person do something bad and she freaks out or whatever. I've seen it a million times, just done so well. I love it.
It's even like in Ava, it's metaphorical, right? You idiot.
Sorry.
So it's cooler and like more layers and stuff. And Misato's like, I don't want Shinji to see me like this. Shinji's like, I don't want to see her like this. And then they're freaking out or something. But yeah. Because he's like biting his thing and he's crying and it looks weird. I don't know. I don't like it.
I love it. When you mean when he's like hiding behind the corner and is too scared to come out? Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
It's great.
It is cool where we get like multiple shots of him like hiding and Roberta works past. It's like, oh my god, they're gonna see each other, but they don't. But then they do. Kind of cool.
Yep. Best scene in Black Lagoon.
Anything else, EliteAri, on that
No,
episode?
that's it. Go ahead. Next episode.
Episode 28, Oversaturation Kill Box. What the fuck does that mean? Oh, and I have my America's moral point here. Americans are just so moral, they save kids. Hilarious.
It's great. Yeah. I was the biggest surprise. I was not expecting that at all because everyone in the show is like a corrupted person, but not the Americans. They're just normal people who are just doing bad jobs. Well, they kind of are.
Like, they did blow up innocent people just before, but...
Well, no, the difference is that they're more like Fabiola, where it's like they're not going to be like Revi and kill an innocent person that's outside of that. They don't have to kill them. They're not going to go out of their way to do something that is like unnecessary by their moral code or whatever, but they're not good necessarily, but they're bad people, or they're doing a bad job, which makes them bad, but they're not going beyond that to do even worse things like everyone else in Ryanapa does. Yeah. Which is, interesting.
It is crazy, though. This would be absolute fodder for, like, every bread... I know you don't care, EliteAri, but every bread tuber, if this was a thingy, it would be, like, the biggest talking point ever if it was, like, an American guy that wrote this. Like, American exceptionalism bleeds into this again. This fucking jingoistic piece of shit show, Black Lagoon, but it's just a Japanese guy who spends most of his time, like, saying America kind of weird and bad. It's just, like, America good, actually. These guys like to save kids, and they're just, like, nice guys. It's crazy. Some of them die later though, like the third most seen guy who's kind of got like the darker skin.
They get very terrible deaths.
Yes, they get skewered and stuff. And now we have that in high capitalized letters. They use the song for the first time in Garcia's flashback, which we already talked about, but also discovered might not be true. And then I have Roberta on the ED beach. We already talked about that.
Sick.
The erectile dysfunction beach.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Edda and Rock talk, the Leviathan EliteAri. Oh my god, this was cool, you know. where the Leviathan lies in the dark. Don't dive deep, Rock.
Mhm.
It was
Yep.
such a cool line. And it's Edda almost tells him, but doesn't tell him, and Rock's so stupid he doesn't figure it out.
Mhm.
But she's like, yeah, I'm setting shit up. And how did I get all this so easily, Rock, you might ask? Well, I just got contacts. And the, stuff like this. And
Yep.
it was crazy. It was just so cool. It's almost her being honest. There's going to come a day, Leary. This is definitely set up for Rock or Revy, seeing that she's CIA. How will Revy feel about this when she's connected to like America and she doesn't like those people, and like American law enforcement, Leary? She doesn't have a good relationship with those people, and Ed is just gonna betray him. And has she been spying on Revy and so much intrigue, Leary? We gotta read the manga. Are you convinced yet?
No.
Why not?
Because firstly, I'm not that much of a fan of manga. I don't enjoy reading it that much. But and secondly, I don't know if I would like this story as a manga. I like the voice acting. I like the music. I like the animation.
Oh my god, it doesn't have the music, EliteAri.
Doesn't have an opening. I love the opening. The best part of every episode.
They took it from Lord. Okay, EliteAri, you don't have to do the whole. Anyway, I'm so stoked, EliteAri. My goodness, there's other arc. I just got to read it for like 3 weeks before I get there. It's okay.
Yeah, you got to tell me if it's good, and then we can.
Oh, don't worry, I'll feed you all the spoilers.
Yeah,
maybe I'll just tell you. Like, if I catch up and I'm like, well, you can really just jump in on the next arc. Maybe I'll get you that way.
Yep.
I'm tabbing over to manga. Say something. I want to know how many chapters it is.
You mean you're tabbing over to the Shonen? Actually, I don't know where this is. It probably isn't on Shonen Jump. I don't know.
It's definitely not on Shonen Jump. It's a monthly something series.
Yep.
I keep writing N because it's in the dark and I can't see where black is on the keyboard.
I guess while you're saying that, the episode titles for this season, nothing really. I was a bit confused by every single one. I think. Yep. I guess the show in general, I haven't really paid that much attention to the episode titles.
Yeah, because you're an idiot. 117 chapters, EliteAri. There's a chapter 0 that could be scary. Should I click on that right now? I'm gonna do it.
No.
Oh, it just
we got an
takes you to
anime to
chapter
talk
1.
about.
EliteAri, I'll do what I want, you little pussy.
I guess.
Also, Revy in the beginning has like short hair. It's crazy. Why is that happening?
Because hair grows. Did you not know that?
Yeah, but like she didn't
remember
have
that
it
one
in the
shot
anime.
where someone was getting their hair cut?
Send you an image.
Or getting their beard shaved or something? I don't remember.
Yes, Rock did, and then they reused it and pretended we didn't notice. It was great.
I didn't notice.
Sending you an image, EliteAri. Look at this Revy character design from chapter 0, Black Lagoon. Look at this silly girl.
That's not Revy. There's no way.
Oh my god. Oh my god, she's got gigantic boobs, EliteAri. Now this is something I've also heard, that everybody has giant boobs. Revy's got nice sized boobs in the anime,
I guess true. In that one shower.
I'm sending you another one of her cleavage, EliteAri, a second afterwards, where she's like, I love you, Rock.
Thank you, Kyle. This is great. The people are loving this if they're actually seeing this on screen.
They're not, unless you edited it in, pussy.
Yeah.
Why are the texts not like lined up, EliteAri? Why are they all weird and stuff?
It's probably a fan translation.
I don't think so. Mangasi only does official ones. I think that's not true.
Maybe there is no official for this chapter.
No, I've seen the Black Lagoon manga in person, I think. But yeah, it is official. I just checked. So, you're a little pussy, and it's just a poor thingy. God, I got a piss, EliteAri, but we're going to get through as much as we can before this goddamn laptop goes flat. Oh, pissin'. Let's not think about pissin' right now, EliteAri.
So what were we up to?
Revy is concerned for her friends.
Go ahead, yeah.
Shut up, EliteAri, you idiot. Chinglish runs in because Roberta's all freaked out at this point, and Revy's like, don't do it, because she loves Chinglish, EliteAri. She's got so many friends. Or maybe she just wants to keep Chinglish close because it heightens her odds of surviving, EliteAri, is what you say. But no, that's not true. She loves Chinglish. Roberta goes, there's a fucking roach on my goddamn laptop, and I keep swiping her away and missing, EliteAri, and I'm pissed off.
That's a shame.
Where's that spider from the other stream to kill this dumb fucking roach? What was this roach on the goddamn laptop when I brought it in here, EliteAri? I'll tell you something. There is thousands, EliteAri, thousands of cockroaches in my house right now. Anyway.
Oh my god. Okay.
I'll send you a video one time. I think I sent the Discord a video one time, and it was crazy. There's literally like, you go on the kitchen counter, there's 20 on it. Unironically.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway. We've tried it all, EliteAri. Every year we get the little pesticide things to come in and try and kill them off. Never works, Anyway, we live in a poor neighborhood, EliteAri. You wouldn't know. You're rich. I got the second battery warning, EliteAri. So at any moment, what'd you say?
You're like Fabiola.
I am, yes. My mommy beats the shit out of me. Anyway. I wouldn't steal something from my little brother, though. He's a piece of shit, EliteAri. I don't care about him.
All right.
Laptop's gone flat, EliteAri. Why are we basing things on anecdotes? Revian's concerned for her friends. Roberta goes super duper beast mode. She has like beast sounds now, EliteAri.
Oh, I did not like that.
No, neither did I.
That was not a good directing choice or whatever.
With the corny sound effects to prove it, I wrote down.
It could have been done well, maybe, like if they blended it more with the voice or something, but no, it was
if she didn't literally growl and like they queued it up, it wasn't the best. They used the song for the first time and what the fuck? Did I write that 7 times?
Oh my god. Is it a different song every time? You're just thinking of like the first time they use every song?
I think I just read this out of order last time. Like I must have scrolled down or something. I don't know. Roberta on the ED beach. I already read this one.
What are you looking at? What are you...
I guess I must have skipped the Revy one the first time. Eder and Rock talk to the Leviathan.
Yes, true.
And then I wrote down this fucking thing. I wrote this down for episode 28 specifically, where I said lawyer theme, because there was like 2 references to lawyers or something, but I don't remember either of them right now, and I feel like I'm making shit up a little.
I have absolutely no memory of anything about lawyers.
Because it was like people were finding representatives or something. I don't remember, EliteAri. Anyway, there was something genius about how I was starting to think like this reminded me of something in like episode 2 where I thought that had like a theme. You know, where Attack on Titan chapters would just have like themes, like they were self-contained works every once in a while. I thought the episodes were doing that, which they probably are. We're just too stupid, and if we watched it like 3 times, we'd probably figure it out. Like, oh, this scene is teasing this thing, and this is setting up this lawyer theme. But anyway, Revy gets shot, bro, EliteAri. You're always saying nobody got shot. Revy got shot.
Yeah, and I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. And it was a big deal. Like, she got shot so much that she was out of action. She
didn't shoot for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
She threatened to shoot Fabiola and Rock after this, though. So, anyway. Balalaika speech. They got the old uniforms on. Flashbacks to Balalaika saving a kid. I think we already talked about all this. Right? Revy gets mad at Rock for not needing him. Oh, yeah. Revy's like pissy after she got shot. And she got shot because of Rock's bullshit. And Rock's in the car, not really saying sorry. And Revy's like, what does Revy say? Oh, and Rock's just like, it's okay, Revy. I'm not going to need you for the rest of this anyway. And Revy's like, what?
Yeah.
She's not very happy, EliteAri. Roberta and Ed are on a plane. Ed is so hot, I wrote down. God, she's so cool, EliteAri. She blocked it. She's strong.
Yep.
And she has funny lines about showers.
She kind of used like a piece of metal, right?
Yeah, she's strong.
So is Roberta.
But Ed is a bit stronger, right?
I don't know about that. Okay.
No. She's just hiding her power levels, her CIA power level.
Right.
Now, there's funny lines about showering, and she's like standing up to her, and then Roberta's like, I will give you a painless death.
I can't wait to see that. It's gonna be sick. Oh my god.
No, she calmed down, and she's now a nice young lady.
She retired.
Fabiola exposes Revy for underestimating Rock. Her perception of Rock isn't true. People tell us who they are and we ignore it. Oh my god, that's a Mad Men line that I'm supposed to bring up. Shining knight, they say, which is something I bring up in my videos a lot, where Revy just wants a knight in shining armor to save her. Fabiola even says it. I didn't remember this because I remember bringing this up last time where it was like, oh, maybe you two should run away and start a vegetable shop, and she's like mocking them. So that's not going to be the outcome of Black Lagoon, EliteAri. They're not running away to Japan to open a stall. That's what I wanted, EliteAri. But you'll never do that, she says. That's Fabiola. She says Revy needs to see Rock as the opposite of her for like her fucking dynamic to work. Garcia and Fabiola as parallels to Rock and Revy. Fabiola might be hoping for a happy ending with Garcia Uwu, which I think is what she's doing, right? She's in love with this silly boy.
Obviously, yes.
Yes. So this is the craziest scene of all time, EliteAri. It's what theses are born out of. It's crazy.
Yep, it is the climax of the relationship between Rock and Revy. Well, not the I guess it is probably the climax, and then her like freaking, or like her having her bed moment alone where she's yelling and swearing is probably like the bottom rise down or whatever.
Somebody's finally confronting her on her shit, EliteAri.
Yeah.
And it's cool that it's like the little like the little maid who's like just mouthing off like a little kid, and she gets so mad, and Revi takes her so seriously, and she's like trying to play it off initially, like laughing and stuff. That's what I would
Mm.
do, EliteAri, if somebody said, "I know you got a crush on Black Lagoon girl right there." I'd be like,
Mm.
"Her? I hate
Oh
her,
no.
EliteAri."
Jesus.
So, EliteAri, we were talking about Fabiola and something. We just had a piss break chat, and by we I mean me. We're not gonna pretend we didn't because of my
Mm.
intro just now. Kind of gave it away. So, what were we saying about Fabiola? She exposed Revi.
Crazy. Yeah. What a scene. We love it.
It was great. I feel like we're not giving it the adequate discussion here, but we kind of already talked about it, so maybe we did. You know, she's just exposing her for real. For real, she just destroyed her. You know, every line is like good in this fucking scene. She's like, "You just want a knight in shining armor," and it's like, "But Revi's big and strong. She doesn't want that, but actually she does." And so it's like a little contradiction. She's just like a scared little girl that just wants to be saved, but she's
Mm-hmm.
also big and tough and mean and probably not shouldn't be saved. But we want to save her because we like her. But does Rock like her? What the fuck does Rock think about Revi?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
I agree. And this is, yeah, like I said, it's one of my standout scenes. I like it a lot.
Yeah, that's what I said, idiot. Just copying me, you know. Anyway, then we're on to EliteAri episode 29, the final ever episode of Black Lagoon, code name
Aye, aye, aye.
Paradise, status MIA. What does MIA stand for, EliteAri?
Missing in action.
Oh my god, then Paradise has gone missing, EliteAri. This is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
EliteAri, when I was watching the show back in 2014, you know, I remember going out into the extension over here that's right near the garage here. I'm not doxing myself. You can't find me on Google Maps. And I was sitting there, and I remember I had like 15 minutes left. They were getting hunted in the jungle, these Americans. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember being distinctly sad. I was like, man, after this, there's no more Black Lagoon to watch. And people say that about shows, literally. They
Steins
say that
Gate.
about shows constantly. I've never said that about another goddamn show. Whenever I'm finished with something now, I'm like, oh my god, I finished it. This is great. I finished something. I can put it on my media checklist. This is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
This is just great. And even back then, I didn't really have moments like that. Even Steins Gate, which literally, let's do a timeline of my favorite anime. You know, we got Attack on Titan, but then I become an Attack on Titan manga boy.
Mm-hmm.
Then in 2014, I watched Black Lagoon, and I don't think it becomes my favorite anime. It's just like really cool. And then I watched Steins Gate in 2015, and I decide this is my favorite anime, EliteAri. It's so cool. Everything about it I love. And
Mm-hmm.
then one day I'm on holiday, EliteAri. Now I'm going to say this was maybe the end of 2016. I remember this holiday distinctly because I started watching Yamada's first time before I went on this holiday. And because we went on holiday, I had it in my mind that if I watched Yamada's first time on Kiss Anime, it would show up in the search history because I assumed we were all using the same internet and that like they would see that it was a show about a virgin something and it would be embarrassing.
Yeah.
So for the whole week I'm on holiday, every time I'm going to bed, because I used to watch anime before I went to bed on my phone, literally. So I'm going to bed and I'm like, man, I wish I could watch Yamada's first time right now. I'm 6 episodes and this is the greatest anime of all time, but I can't. This sucks. But I remember, EliteAri, I'm sitting there on holidays. I'm in the room where the TV is hooked up. I'm playing like Dragon Ball Z Budokai 1, 2, and 3 on my PS2, having a fun time. In between that, I'm getting up on my MacBook. I'm writing reviews, EliteAri, that aren't getting posted anywhere, but someday I'll figure out how to post them. And I'm
Okay.
writing a Steins Gate one and a Black Lagoon one. And at some point, I'm writing away at this Black Lagoon one, and I realize, EliteAri, that Black Lagoon is way cooler than Steins Gate, my favorite anime ever. You know? And
Yeah.
that's the backstory, EliteAri. So it wasn't in this moment that I discovered that that Black Lagoon, where I'm sitting there in 2014 thinking that it's about to end. Remember, it's just very nostalgic, this little hunt in the woods, EliteAri, in the jungle. Just thinking back to it. I think that's why I brought this up, but that was a funny anecdote nonetheless, huh?
Yeah. So you're saying, you know what? You were sad back then. The characters were never going to come back. And here you are. The characters came back so many years later.
I came back, EliteAri.
Yeah.
I came. Denji moment. Anyway. And then eventually I watched the Evangelion and ruined
Wait,
everything, EliteAri, but
so
that
wait,
was 2 years later.
what's the conclusion at the end of this? When you watch this time, did you feel the same way, or were you like, "Nah, there's manga, bro"?
No, I was just recounting like my nostalgic what do you call it, anecdotes about Black Lagoon here. You know, just
Alright, cool.
one day in 10 years later, you'll be thinking back. Oh my god, it's literally 10 years later. It's the 10-year anniversary of that
Oh my
moment.
god.
Do you think it's possible? Hmm.
There's no way.
What
No.
part of
Was
2014
it
did I
winter?
start watching Attack on Titan? I don't remember if it was winter. I started watching Attack on Titan at the beginning of 2014, I remember, because it was rather early, and I remember I had one friend that I was talking to it about. He spoiled the Annie reveal for me because I watched episode 17 right before I went to bed the night before, and I was like, the female Titan's probably Annie, right? The girl that didn't go with them. And he's like, yeah, it was Annie. And I even told him beforehand. I was like, don't tell me if it's true. And he said, yeah. He used to spoil things all the time, EliteAri. He's an idiot.
Yep.
But we were 12, so he didn't know responsibility, and he just wanted to, Anyway, so it would have been, that's early 2014, and then eventually Black Lagoon is like my third anime, I'm pretty sure. I don't even know what could have been between them. It might be my second anime, EliteAri. You think that's possible?
It's definitely possible.
Because the other ones around that time is Naruto at some point, but I feel like that's afterwards. Obviously, I've already seen DBZ and Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! EliteAri. They don't count. Might be number 2, bro. Anyway.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll take your word for it. I believe it.
Well, EliteAri, when we're doing Madoka Magica next week, you can tell me all of your nostalgic ramblings, okay? To get back at me.
Good idea.
Rock has an evil face on. Fabiola speculates that perhaps it's too late for Evie. Perhaps it isn't too late for Evie, in fact. She says that, so I'm trying to think of how Black Lagoon's ending when I'm watching these scenes, EliteAri. So she said, we're not running away, and she said, but maybe it's not too late for Evie. Which I think is the point of the show, right? Like, Rock's climaxing and saving people is going to climax in him saving his wife?
Maybe. I could see it going that way, but I could also see it not, so I'm not sure. No conclusive thing.
Me too, brother. Me too.
But also, one thing I was thinking, it might have happened I think it was the end of last episode. We're on the final episode now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, was it... What did Rock say to Garcia? What was the plan? Was it just the bullet thing? Like, I'm gonna give you an empty gun or something? Or what happened?
This shit's retarded. So he's like, fire a shot at that thingy,
Roberta.
and he's gonna pretend to die. No.
Oh, the guy. Okay, yep.
And then he's gonna pretend to die. It's gonna be a blank. But then Roberta's so drugged out, she'll be convinced he's actually dead, and therefore she'll think you're a sinner too, and that they can be sinners together, and you guys can kiss and stuff. And therefore everything's solved.
No, I agree with that, and I think I actually do like that. But do you think that's what he told him in that moment? I mean, it would make sense, right? Because that's what ended up happening. It was all Rock's plan. Oh, and then we see the bullet and Fabiola shoots him. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because she didn't know. But anyway.
Yeah.
Light Yagami sucks.
Okay, wait, no, about the actual, are we up to that yet? Or is there more stuff before the Roberta climax, like, shooting scene? No, let's get to that later. Go ahead. Let's keep going.
Okay. I feel like I had something to say, but I just forgot it again, EliteAri.
Mm-hmm.
Rock has an evil face. Oh, is another lot, because they clearly are teasing here that, like, we're ending on Rock being the bad guy, Lamau. Where it's like, oh, the whole series has been him, like, slowly becoming of the night, EliteAri, and now he's scary and he's evil and he's doing evil faces and he's being short with Revi and pissing her off and losing his warmth and stuff like that. Now it's a misdirect in this episode. I wonder if that is what we're doing with the whole series, because EliteAri, if you stare into the abyss, it stares back at you. So as he's trying to help people in Rowanapur, he's also becoming Rowanapur. That's crazy. That's so deep. It is interesting that they like do the silly subversion here. I don't know how I feel about it.
When you say subversion, you're saying that this whole time Rock is being manipulative and you're meant to imply that he doesn't care about Garcia's life or anything like that. But at the end, it's revealed that he wanted to help everyone. Is that what you're saying is the subversion?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I would think it works fine.
Yeah, it's okay, Fabiola and Garcia in the water, having a come-together moment while Revi has her flashback and wants to kill Rock. So this is where we get, and people talk about this a lot, where we do the reverse backstory thingy for Revi, where we don't find out she got raped until the last episode of EliteAri, rather than that being the motivator of her whole backstory from the beginning, like all these other bad anime, and that's why Black Lagoon is cool and feminist.
All right, I'll believe it. But I mean, we knew this whole time she had a bad upbringing, so does it really change anything?
I mean, the rape is a little gross, EliteAri, and
I
it's
mean,
not
it
very
definitely
nice,
is,
and
but I don't think it changes the fact that that was
it's
her.
very visceral.
We understand from the beginning, or near the beginning, that she is the way she is because of her bad upbringing, and this just like shows it.
I think it's also effective because it is like a strong female character. I said the meme, which I say in the Black Lagoon reviews, but in a negative way, like I'm the critical drinker. EliteAri doesn't understand. He hasn't seen those videos.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
The that she's like the strong badass woman, and to see her being like raped is like a lot of like juxtaposition and cognitive dissonance there almost, between your perception and what's really happening. Um, Also, she's like teased this like every time she's brought up her backstory, kind of, where she's like, oh, when she's in the submarine with Rock, she says like, oh, if I wanted to really freak you out, I'd tell you something more colorful or whatever, which is probably this. And also she says like her life changed the night the cops beat the shit out of her for no reason, which is implied to actually be what this is. Because obviously she has like bruises already when she's in the cell, like they beat her up before that, and then this one rapes her. So it's been a little set up from the
Wait, what
start.
are you talking about? What rapes her? The police?
Yeah, the police rape her.
Oh no! Did I like? Okay, wait a minute. I
You
thought
thought it
that
was
was
the
her
dad.
dad. Yeah.
No, her dad just does. It's funny because yeah, it's like, oh, her dad's abusive, but then it's like, oh, he didn't actually like. He was just being like, probably right after it happened, was just being a prick and being like, "Get me a beer." She was
Oh,
like, "Well, fuck
okay.
this prick,"
That
and
changes
shoots
things a
him.
little bit.
It does, yeah, right. He's kind of bad person, you know.
Yeah. Well, not well. It depends. Okay, interesting. Okay.
But yeah, it's also kind of more fucked up that it's, well, I don't know if it's more fucked up that it wasn't her dad and it was a cop. It's kind of scary. I don't know.
It's
It's
bad
pretty
either
scary in
way.
either
Yeah.
regard. But it's like, well, the law enforcement that are supposed to like keep people safe are the ones like are raping a little girl who they beat up and found on
Yeah.
the street doing nothing. But also your father is like supposed to take care of you and protect you, and for I don't know, it's kind of fucked up in
You know,
both senses, I
it's
guess.
a very gyro story from Hunter x Hunter. You know, if you guys have seen that.
Who's getting raped in Hana Hana? Shut up, idiot.
There's no rape, but it's like a poor kid who's like dad doesn't care about him.
I'm just a poor boy from a poor family. You know that song, Leary?
Yep, sounds familiar. Willy Wonka, right?
I don't know.
I don't. It's definitely not Willy Wonka. Okay, go
It's
ahead. Yeah.
Bohemian Rhapsody, Leary. You ever heard of it?
Oh yeah, it is. Okay. Yep.
This guy's fucking musically illiterate. Chatty didn't know.
Okay.
Oh, baby, like
No, I know that one.
It's the song from earlier. No, you didn't know it
Oh
before,
no,
you
sorry,
idiot.
the Bohemian Rhapsody. I thought you were singing the same song. I don't know,
Yeah, it was
Kyle.
a different song. You didn't
Move
even
on.
recognize
Move
it.
on.
Oh my god, you just expressed
I
the
don't know
you tried
anything
to
about
pretend that he
music.
didn't know it. He didn't know it. Oh my god.
All right.
Leary doesn't listen to music unless it's anime openings or video game music.
Pretty
He's
much, yeah.
unironically that guy. It's pretty embarrassing, you know. Leary, you just got to get into it one time. You just got to put an album on while you're working on a thingy, and then it'll get stuck in your head, and then you'll listen to it a bunch, and then you'll listen to all the other stuff by that artist, and then you'll Google stuff
Yeah.
like this, and then you'll do that while you're writing, and it'll just soul spiral, and you'll be a real music boy, and you'll be like, the Doors' third album really fell off, but their fourth album was pretty good.
I prefer to make my own music using AI, but yeah.
True. Cops beat the shit out of me from Mosing. Shane has gone back to Vietnam, EliteAri. He's like in the same strait. That actually means something.
You know,
He's back in his uniform.
I don't know if we said this, but I do say that the Revy backstory lived up to the horrificness. You know, it was legitimately, it was very bad. So yeah.
Bad.
Like this whole time they don't show it, and then when they do show it, it actually like lives up to how bad you were kind of expecting it to be, you know? So
Yeah. I think there is like admirate. Oh my god, EliteAri, I just remembered something I did in those terrible fucking videos.
Okay.
There's an Innuendo Studios video series, EliteAri, about Mad Max Fury Road and about how it's the most feminist thing ever. And in that video, it's divided into like 6 videos. And each video is about a different general type of like female action protagonist. And it's like, oh, it separates like, oh, Sigourney Weaver from Alien is this one. And this girl from this. And one of them's called like the Rape Revenger, which is like, oh, the female action hero got raped and now she's back to kill all her rapists. Some crazy movies in that video where it's like the plot is literally girl gets gang raped, gets beat up, escapes, comes back to kill people. It's like, geez. But In one of my Black Lagoon videos, I literally just steal that thing. I like shout it out, but I literally just say, let's see if Revy fits into any of these, and then I conclude that Black Lagoon is good because Revy doesn't fit into any of these. And like my argument is like, oh, like yeah, Revy got raped, and that's like part of her whole motivation and stuff. Well, not really. It's just part of her backstory, and it's like, but she's not actually that one because it happens at the end.
Hmm.
Sounds. These are the videos you're gonna watch, Leary. Sounds pretty good, huh?
Yep, I'm sure it's good.
God, it's just retarded ideas strung together for no reason.
I guess
That's what
we'll
all
find
my old
out.
videos are like. It's like, oh, this thing, I thought about it one time, so I'm gonna put it in a video. Hippie! It's like at the beginning of the Mad Men video where for some reason I just talk about how anime is bad and that I'm glad I'm actually watching something good, like a live action show for once. That's like the first 5 minutes. And that video is actually pretty good.
Mhm.
But like if you're just a Mad Men person watching it, you're like, what the fuck is this moron talking about?
Yep.
Anyway, terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. In the water, EliteAri. Oh, Shane's going back to Vietnam, EliteAri. It's coming full circle and stuff. And just like Balalaika, they're in their old uniforms. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Garcia is
Oh my
Nia from
god.
Death Note.
Wait, are you saying that the opening scene in the first season is the same location as the final
In
scene?
the first episode. It's not the exact same location,
like the same
they're going up
country?
the same river. No, because it's like 4
Oh, okay,
countries that all meet at this point,
Alright, no,
remember?
it's not as exciting. Okay, that's all right.
I think it's definitely supposed to be the reference you were going to, but and that was what I was saying. But
well done. Okay,
you know, Garcia is Nia from Death Note, EliteAri. I only realized it in this watch through.
What, like the voice?
Yeah.
Wait,
So
I get maybe. I can't.
It absolutely 1 trillion%.
When I hear
is
it, I
EliteAri.
guess
Listen
I'll
to 'em.
hear it.
Yeah, you got to do it. You'll have an oh my goodness moment. It's absolutely 1 trillion% the same guy.
Mhm.
It sounds more like it in this part because he's like grown up and he's being older.
Mhm.
Like Nia, you know, he was really old.
Yep. Classic.
Miller, shut the fuck up. I'm trying to do a goddamn thing here. Anyway. Shut up! 3 messages he just sent, EliteAri.
Okay, go ahead.
It comes
Yes,
up on the top of my
episode,
screen and I
5th
can't read the
episode.
goddamn text on my screen. Get the fuck off my boat. We already talked about that. Rock does the arm thing to Fabiola. We already talked about that.
The arm thing?
Rock, remember the fucking placement of the arm, just like Chaka and Balalaika, EliteAri, that we talked about.
Oh, yes, yes. The hand on glass thing. Yeah.
Yes. Rock is very obsessed with Chang losing. True.
Yep.
Roberta did a Griffith on top of the gun. Did you see that, EliteAri?
Roberta did a Griffith on top of the gun.
She balanced on the tip of a dude's gun, like she jumped.
Oh, yes, like the guts thing. Yeah,
she did a Griffith. Yeah.
Yep.
Not a guts thing, a Griffith thing, EliteAri. My favorite Berserk character, as you found out in my tier list.
Yeah, the most relatable.
Anyway.
True.
Yes. Revy's got an ugly face as she's scowling at Rock. True, I've always thought about this face. It haunts me, EliteAri. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Scowling at Rock? Isn't she like under the... She's in her bunk bed or like a bunk area?
No, this is when she comes out.
I don't remember the growling face or whatever. Scowling face.
She's just like very mad and she looks like ugly and her face is drawn weird. And
then
like,
you liked her less, right? Because she was ugly in that moment. And you.
I did, EliteAri. I think about that frame a lot, and I don't like it. Roanapa is an allegory for hell, a stopover. We already talked about that. Well, I guess I don't have any more notes about the last confrontation between Rock and Revy, where Rock is going on this monologue where he says like, I'm actually okay with feeling like this right now, Revy, because this is how you've always felt. And part of it is like Revy because Revy freaks out and like kicks him and says, you don't know a fucking thing about me or something.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, it is kind of arrogant for him to think that, having not gone through what she's gone through, like the literal rape she was just revisiting. But also it's like him coming more over to her side, and it could be her kicking out at that of like, no, be a nice boy. I don't want you to relate to me. Ooh. So that's cool, and that's like the point of that thingy. They have a lot of good lines back and forth towards each other, but I didn't write any of them down, EliteAri. You remember them?
Nope, not even a little bit.
But it's sick. It's great.
It is. I remember the scene. It did stand out, but I don't remember the lines at all.
He's just knocked out until dawn when everybody shows back up and he's won. It's pretty cool. And then Benny comes out and he's like, what the fuck happened to you, feller? And he's like, well, this is me, I guess.
Mhm.
Yukio is brought up a lot, I have a note here. Revy mentions the Twilight and that Rock is now in the darkness. You don't fucking know me. Oh my god, I do have some of them written out. Rock says he's fine with it because he now understands Revy. Oh my god, I just talked about all that, moron. Garcia kisses Roberta and shoots the guy. Garcia and Roberta are now
Crazy.
the same, like Rock and Revy, question mark. I don't think I ever understood this ending. So why did he kiss her, EliteAri?
All right. So here's my thing. Okay, I figured this
It's a
out.
metaphor for him growing up is the real answer, but
No, no, no. The
it's still
answer
weird.
is so Garcia symbolically kills Paxton, okay? And then he kisses Roberta and then convinces her that she doesn't need revenge, okay? And that's it. That's all there is to it. It's a little symbolic like play that he's doing to like kind of get on
Love
Roberta's good side
overcomes
and
the
yeah,
the
and to say that like we don't
EliteAri.
need revenge. I've symbolically killed him. I'm not the person you thought I was, but I am still here for you.
Which is like the Revy and Rock thing, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's not the person I thought it was. You're not seeing me, etc. But
Yeah.
also, they have been seeding throughout the whole series, like not the series, but this arc where it's like Chang is commenting, "Oh, said like a true young man," thingy, and it's like the
Mhm.
growing up thing, which is also what the Shinji Misato kiss is about. It's like, yeah, grow up, finally, you can kiss
I have to
cool,
say,
strong girls.
when he went and kissed her, I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. I was like, "What is the show doing? This is insane." I even wrote
Yeah.
down like WTF? What is this? Like,
Like
but
Roberta
then
blushes and everything. It's like,
yeah, but then like the scene, I guess it's like a very quick like kiss, and I'm like, oh, okay, it's like that in his like Colombian culture or something. Maybe you kiss people in the mouth. I don't know.
that would save everything, EliteAri, if
That's
that
what
was
I
true
assumed it
somehow.
was after it happened. I was like, it must just be
But
that because
yeah.
it's so weird. It comes out of nowhere. It's very strange. I don't know. I think it's fine. It works. It was a bit confusing
About
as well,
growing
but
up.
like this whole exchange, it did. I don't think I initially got what was happening until thinking about it afterwards. But in the moment, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh my god, he's like doing symbolic stuff, and Roberta's good now, and I was like, okay, it works.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy or something. If I had told you at the beginning of the series that Garcia and Roberta would kiss before Rock and Revy, would you have believed me?
On the mouth, no way. I would have believed you. No way.
That is fucking crazy, though. Stop with this will they, won't they shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, CAA closing scene. They're still on top and have not been addressed by Rock. That is,
Yep.
they didn't know who was they were messing with. Yeah. CAA is the final boss of Black Lagoon, I guess. True, I already said that one
They
line.
won. They were the winners.
They were. Someone else won the bet. Rock reflects as he's sitting there, as things haven't changed. What a silly young man.
Yeah.
Then we got the unique outro. It's been months, apparently. Roberta meets with the family of the guy she killed, and Shane is there.
My god,
She's
what a
missing an
scene.
arm and some fingers and can't walk very good. Revy is nice to Rock, and he and said he came close to becoming a corpse back there, but didn't.
Oh my god, there are a
Somehow,
few things I wanted to say. Wait a minute, we went through that quickly. Oh,
Shane
now I
is
don't
there.
remember. Well, I guess
Oh
okay.
my god,
Firstly,
imagine.
not this isn't the first one, but it was about the family thing. I like the music. The music is what makes it. It's like in this moment, it's like singing, and oh my god, it's
It's
so
cool.
emotional and all that. But before that,
And
there was
there's like another
something.
maid there.
Oh, I guess the implication. I don't know if we mentioned this before. Is that the CIA has taken the guy from like they talked to the NSA and they took the guy from the NSA, and the implication is that they now control the heroin production. Like they completely won. It's not that they just restored the peace in Roanoke, which is what they want. They now have control, the economic control over the heroin production because they have the guy in custody. So they
Well,
can
I
like
think
place him
they
back in his
kind of.
position and they can like have the control over it, right?
Well, yeah, they kind of like the status like before the arc starts. They're like that guy only is there because Chang is there because they have Chang there, right? So it's like, oh, nothing changed type thing.
Is it?
It's not like they
I guess
have
it makes
won
sense,
further.
right? Because the CIA is controlling
Yeah.
Chang and Chang's working with him. But do we really know that that guy is working for Chang? Or is like there because of Chang?
I don't know if he's working for Chang or if he's just partners with Chang.
Because at the end, it does feel like they wanted to get that guy. Like the CIA, the boss guy was talking about how, oh, we got him in the end. So it's like we have him now under our control. Are you saying that they were just wanting to get him back under control?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I
They
could see it either
won
way.
irregardless.
True. And then my third thing was about was there anything else? I feel like there was something else. The Rock and Revy scene. Maybe not. I don't know.
Someone else won the bet. Revy is nice to Rock. Nearly became a corpse back there. Lamau.
Nah, I got nothing.
It's
Oh,
also
good.
the interesting
Solid
thing where
ending.
Revy has a big, massive fight, and then like, oh, we'll just give her time
Time
and she'll
skip.
love Rock
Yeah.
again. Yeah. That's just so descriptively true, Leary. You just need some time to calm down, and then you like everything. Wait, I think I skipped over my silly madman point at some point. You know, we got to get that in before we leave.
Classic. Yeah. And a tier list.
Oh yes, the tier list. Oh, I can still see a tier list. Oh, this is the most interesting thing about life EliteAri. Now, Madman EliteAri is the greatest thingy ever because it does these descriptively real things better than anything has ever anything. It just hits it so perfectly on the little head. And sometimes you don't even realize it has until like 2 years later and something happens to you and you're like, oh my God, this is like the emotion that was in this Madman scene that I didn't entirely understand until I understood right now, because it's just so eclectic with the emotions and stuff, Leary. So a big thing in Madman, now I read this line out at some point, but where is it in my goddamn motherfucking piece of shit motherfucking notes, Leary? It's something about John Draper's. He's sitting there, he's sad about something, his kids hate him or something, and he's sitting there and he goes, people tell us who they are, but we ignore them because we want them to be the people we think they are or something. It's more poetic than that, EliteAri, okay? Maybe it's poetry, but I'm just recapping it because I can't find the note here. But anyway, it's a big monologue. I was just like, man, first time I heard that, I was like, that's so true, man. You like fall in love with this girl, Leary, and you think she's a certain way, but then you keep being shown evidence that she's not that, like exactly like that, and she's not exactly what you wanted, but you just ignore it and power through. But because of this difference in perception and reality, problems creep up, but then you ignore them until they blow up in your face, EliteAri. That's just what's happening with Revy and Rock. She's like, this Rock dude, like, it's like your first impression of them is the impression of them you have forever. And obviously people change over time. And at some point she's going to like break up with Rock and be like, when did this motherfucker change? And what happened to him? And where was this guy I used to like? And I think it's very interesting to think about it from the other side, because you can sort of perceive this happening. I certainly do in my relationship, EliteAri, where it's like, there's sort of, you should sort of try to pry and figure out like what the other person thinks of you, like actually, or you try to pry to make them say something interesting. It's like, why did you decide to go on a date with me the first time? And like the answer you get is always unsatisfying because you want them to like an aspect of you that like you're insecure about, but it never happens. It's always like, the answer I usually get is like, oh, you seemed nice. And it's like, well, I don't want to hear that. That sucks. I'm cool and epic and stuff. And obviously irresistible is what you want to hear, or something like that. But it's like, it's never what you want. And then sort of you have to pretend that they still see you the way you want to be seen, but they don't. And it's always like, this is like a big thing in like even red pill spaces, EliteAri, where guys are like, oh yeah, bitches love me because I'm masculine and I'll lead them in something. But almost always these girls like you for like something that you hate about yourself, where it's like, oh, you got really mad at something or something and they thought that was cute because it's like, oh, silly little boy, I can protect and nurture this. And it's like, well, that's not what you want. You want them to be, do you want them to actually think you're super cool and strong and can make decisions and are just so smart, and your intellect and your comedy won them over? But it's always like something stupid. And when you think about that with them, if you were like, what you honestly think and like about them and what you understand to be their insecurities, if you were to verbalize that to them, that you understood that about them, they would probably be like, well, this is terrible. I don't like want to be around people that see me that way. But that's sort of where love is born out of, EliteAri. So it's kind of this fucked up situation. Now, it's kind of cute that I can project this Rock and Revy relationship onto this relationship, and also my silly high school one with the Black Lagoon girl who used to sit next to me in English class. I think they hit on something very particular here, EliteAri. That's very good. And I think it's just born out of lying to yourself and not being honest with your feelings. Two very important human things, EliteAri, you know? It's just, you just like a girl, so you bully her, and then you be weird why she isn't in love with you yet, and then you break down, and you punch your cabin wall, and you throw green paint at the wall. Remember that, EliteAri? And then she
From
thought about how
what?
she got raped, EliteAri. She threw green paint at the wall when she gets in the cabin, EliteAri. You don't remember it because it's just a silly miscellaneous insert shot, literally.
Okay, yep.
She just kicks it at the wall. But anyway, you pick up on any of that, EliteAri? Am I going crazy? What's going on?
I can't really relate. I don't know. The
EliteAri's just so honest
closest
with his emotions.
closest thing I could
Doesn't
imagine
care
is
about
like
people's perceptions of him.
it could be like the difference between people interpreting your art. Like if you make like a I don't know, like I say a YouTube video or something, people take some other weird interpretation of what you were saying. That could be like a weird thing, but I can't really relate to it in the other
Yeah,
route.
I feel like it
I
is
don't know.
different to that because it's like the person that's supposed to be like the closest to you, which is something they hit on with the Revy and Rock thing a lot. Like, oh, the lovebirds are apart. Like,
Mhm.
Rock's supposed to get me. Why doesn't he? And then like to point out like because I feel like in sort of relationship moments like this, you always have a moment of realization that you've been a hypocrite the whole time, and obviously this like doubles on you like fourfold. Where it's like the Fabiola moment where she's like, "Moron, you're like the reason this is fucking up, and because you won't be honest with even yourself that like this is what you want out of this relationship or
Mhm.
whatever." I don't know. That's what some of the Rock and Revy videos are about too, you know. It's just super smart and stuff.
Mhm.
Except no, it's just about being indirect. But I've added some stuff on here now, you know.
Yep. Genius.
But anyway, genius. That's what they all say. Watch
Yep.
Mad Men, ladies and gentlemen, you know.
Mhm.
We'll be back with Mad Men after Madoka Magica, I'm sure.
I'm not saying nothing.
We'll do 4 hours
I
on
don't know.
every episode. Put it on the
Who knows?
wheel.
Maybe,
EliteAri.
maybe not.
Wait,
Yeah.
is it on the wheel?
Yeah, now next month it will be.
Oh my god. Why did you put the long things on the wheel, EliteAri? You're an idiot.
Because it makes it exciting and people want to
But
recommend
what
me
if
things.
you actually get one?
I don't know. I'll watch it, I guess, eventually. Anyway.
Well, maybe we will be doing Mad Men after Madoka Magica if this idiot spins it.
Yep.
But anyway.
Anything else?
I don't know. We're done.
We have a
Black
tier list.
Lagoon.
That's it.
We
I'll
got
show
a
you
tier
this.
list.
What do you think? Who are
I'm
my
trying
favorites?
to think before the tier list. I'm trying to think. Do we have any concluding thoughts? I don't really need to do predictions for the future.
You know what I think?
I
I think
guess
in 5 years from now we do a rewatch. Your third rewatch, my my first
it is
rewatch.
more than my third. You ho.
Whatever, your fifth rewatch. I don't know. Because I do want to. Now that I know these characters, I understand the high level plot details. I think it would be worthwhile to revisit the first 2 seasons.
Maybe you should revisit it in black and white and still images.
No.
Oh.
Now, do you think they have the shower scene in the manga?
Everything this idiot draws on Twitter is the horniest thing you've ever seen,
so
and I've just seen Revy's boob, so I'm assuming because it's manga, there's like nudity in the second fucking page.
Crazy! Oh my gosh!
I can't wait, EliteAri. If Ed is having a shower, I'm gonna freak the fuck out.
Yep.
I have seen all of the girls in like lingerie and balalaika in like a bunny costume or something. So he's doing something.
Oh yeah, when I was looking at the Wikipedia thing, or somewhere, maybe it was on IMDb or something, there was some other Black Lagoon show.
Omake or whatever is like
it was weird. It was like a
thing. Yeah,
it was like a weird thing. Yeah, I don't know. Are we
yeah,
doing that? Or are we doing a discussion of that?
7 2-minute episodes of like
wow.
DVD extras. It's like the high school Attack on Titan show, right?
Oh yeah, I haven't seen that, but apparently it's really
literally
good.
Like that.
All right.
Yeah, there's probably a lot of references and stuff and crazy.
All right.
Okay, send me this goddamn tier list.
Well, you need to predict
Revy
who
is
are
number
the
1,
rest.
but Eder is obviously actually number 1.
Wait, are these yours? Is this what you're saying?
Yes, and then
go ahead.
We love Chinglish. She's really hot too. And then Rock is not as good as them. Dutch is not as good as them. Benny's not as good as them.
Dutch is great.
Balalaika is really cool. Chang is really cool. Shane is pretty cool, EliteAri, you gotta admit. Now, Roberta, I like to say I don't like as much as the others because that makes some people angry. Garcia is not that cool. Fabiola is obviously S. I wonder if you found the same tier list as me. I think I'm running out of characters, EliteAri. There's not too many.
Yeah, these are just the major
is pretty cool. Rico.
Wait, which one's
cool.
Yolanda? Oh, the old lady. Yeah.
Old lady, yeah. The twins are pretty cool, bro. Greenback Jane is okay. All right, send your tier list, pussy, so I can have a look.
All right, wait a minute. All right, everyone, look at the screen. I'm sure I edited this in, surely. Unless I forgot, that'd be really funny.
Oh my god, he's got Roberta S tier, Chang S tier, Balalaika S tier.
Yeah,
good, but then he's got Revy, who is a top 10 character of all time, definitively, EliteAri. I think usually when I draft a list, she's like 4. She's just above Casca, as in below Casca. Like Casca's like 3 and she's like 4. But then we've got like Flint and Max are number 2.
Yep.
I can't decide, EliteAri. Leave me the fuck alone.
That's okay.
Then we got Oscar at number 1. Are they usually? I feel like there's usually a different 3. And like they're 4 and 5. Who else do I like?
Eren
what else
Yeager,
do I
of
like?
course.
No, there's no shitty Attack on Titan characters in the top 10. Mikasa is number 11. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, it's probably a Madman character, huh?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's usually Roger or Don. But anyway, top 5 character of all time. EliteAri's got her in fucking A tier.
Mhm.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
And then next to her, we got Dutch.
Yeah, she's better
and
than
then
Dodge.
Rock. Of course she is. Then we got Shane and Edda. Edda's an A tier. I'm kind of happy about that. Yukio, Fabiola, not Ness. That's a little weird. We got B for Benny, B for Garcia, B for Genji, B for Fratelli Mayo and Sora Mayo.
Oh my
And then
god,
we
you
got
remember the name? That's
English.
crazy.
Fratelli,
Jesus.
it's Sora Mayo, EliteAri.
Oh, you tricked me.
Chinglish, Greenback Jane, Sawyer, and then we've got the cool dude in C and Chaka in C.
Yep.
C for Chaka.
C for bad.
Chuck.
Jesus. Yep.
Cunt.
Anyway, that's it.
Chaka.
You know, Roberta's the best. I'm so glad she had a whole season to herself. What a great show. Yep.
EliteAri said 9 out of 10 like 2 hours ago.
It is definitely 9 out of 10. I like it a lot. It's really good. It's not just for the meme of me liking Roberta. It's actually I really enjoyed this. So yeah.
Well, chat, we take the victories one at a time here on the Entertainment Nation. What a callback.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably missing some characters, right? Yolanda and Rico weren't on here.
Yeah.
The stripper dude that EliteAri never remembers. We don't have Balak is second in command. We don't have any Italians, any Colombian dudes with no faces anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Any of Shane's men. Garcia's father, come on now. He has to be
Oh yeah,
up
the
there
guy
in
that
B
Roberta
tier.
killed. True.
Yes, true. Rock from 1963. The second in command, like Genji's other friend. You remember you liked
Oh
him,
yeah, he was
EliteAri?
great. Yeah, he'd be in like A.
He was
Yeah,
cool.
he was great.
Leroy and the cowboy guy and
Oh yeah, I remember liking the cowboy guy. It was funny.
Lobos and the Florida dude that Lobos has to kill in the hospital room. The flamethrower guy.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters. Jesus.
I could just keep going. Greenback
Yep.
Jane's Chinese friend that's gonna kiss Rock.
How exciting.
Crazy. Should I just start from that chapter, leader? Who's gonna stop me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm half concerned chapter 0 is like a prequel chapter that he made at the end of volume 1 or something, and it's just in episode 1 of the anime. Anyway, I'll have to do my research. Oh my god, EliteAri, how long did we go? How long did the people suffer?
Yeah,
this
roughly
evening?
3 hours, depending on if the audio is cut out or not, or the silence.
The shortest one by far, chat. You better be excited. You better be happy about that.
Leave a comment down below.
Don't we have to do like some big wrap up, like hashtag I love Black Lagoon, uwu? And I guess we already announced what we're doing next. We're gonna do Madoka Magica, and then it's still to be determined. After that, we're gonna do something neither of us have ever seen. If you've got any suggestions, mayhaps you put them in the comments below. Anything else, EliteAri? Mushoku Tensei is going to be out on EliteAri's channel after this. Madoka Magica is also going to be on EliteAri's channel. The thing that neither of us has seen, who knows whose channel that's going on.
Yep.
But yeah,
I think there's anything else. Black Lagoon. What a wild ride.
What a journey.
Yeah.
We started this nearly 5 months ago, I think. Or it says 3 months ago, the upload, now that I'm looking at it.
Some high highs, some low lows.
I have some all just highs, no lows.
Yep.
I do have intention to actually read this manga. If you're a long time Kyle Entertainment Black Lagoon fan, you've been waiting for this moment for like 5 years. I said I would do it like 5 years ago. I've read like half of chapter 1 before. I will do it. Even if I have to sacrifice Hunter x Hunter on the altar, EliteAri. Now that's a sad thought.
That's okay, it's just the manga.
We could do Yu Yu Hakusho, EliteAri. Neither of us has seen that.
Alright, let's end this. The shorter it is, the more people will watch it, okay? So...
Okay, everybody. Do I usually do the outros?
Well, it's your video, yeah.
Okay, everybody. Support links in the description below. Thanks.